Who would think that we're live today? It's me and you and you and you and all of us.
I mean, I thought we'd be live.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we did it this week. No more tech problems.
Yeah, we did it.
Living our lives.
We rolled high enough. Our tech check.
Our tech check said,
It's a very good week to roll well. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very good week to roll well.
It's true.
Alrighty. Get out my dice and log into Twitch to see all my friends. Yeah. Welcome, friends. Look at all these faces. Well, look at all these names who I know.
Look at all these names to faces that you can probably remember if you don't have.
Look at it all. Look at all of them. Welcome to Iskar Academy. We've it's been a while since we've all seen your faces, but we're back. I mean, I saw your I haven't seen anyone's faces. I realized I don't see any of your faces. It's been a while since I've seen your names. How about that?
You usernames and handles.
Usernames and handles.
Yeah. I can't.
So welcome. We have a very, I hope, exciting game for today. And to Luna's horror, we are kicking off exam week.
I just IRL got out of that. Why would you do this to me? I can't even escape in D&D.
I don't make the rules. That's what they're called, midterms.
I can't escape anywhere I go.
I love that you like grab the wall, like, Lord
it's
help
like
me.
so much. Like I feel like anxiety's just like no.
It's fine. It's easier than in real life because you only have to roll a dice and you don't have to do any of the work.
That is more terrifying.
That's even more terrifying. I'm leaving it up to luck. I have no control over it.
You gotta make sure you got the right dice. You got the right dice today.
Rice dice sound like it's something that those artists and crafts dice makers are like trying to put food in dice, and then they don't realize that food is biodegradable.
They put rice in the center, like a little sushi roll in the center, but it's actual sushi. Dig that thing out.
If it's not cooked, rice would probably be fine.
Yeah, dried rice probably, right?
Dried rice.
Because without, I know flowers and stuff will break down if they have like moisture in them, which is why you have to use like dried. But if there's no moisture, because resin
honestly, if you put anything in the dehydrator,
yeah.
So. These are my jerky dice.
You could absolutely make jerky dice, I guess.
I don't know why you would.
I don't know why you would, but you could.
Also, I just had a horrifying idea of dehydrating like fish eyeballs and putting them into dice.
Oh. No, thank you.
I know, it was like a cursed idea that my brain just fully was like, that's the direction we're going today.
You find yourself a different dice maker for that.
I'm not saying
this one's not doing it.
No, I wasn't suggesting you would. That would be a waste of your talents.
It'd be a waste of fish eyes, really.
Truly. Laura, I've been meaning to ask you, can you make me a new D6 but has like 64 to 16, 8, and all these weird numbers on it? Because I don't think it's gonna have any purpose, but I think it's funny.
You would need a master. Or I would need that dice, and then I'd make a mold off of that specific one. And then as long as the numbers are deep enough, that wouldn't be a problem. You can make a
I just like showing off weird dice that outside of what they're used for, it has no purpose, really.
That's gotta be like cribbage or something.
It's multiple, so it's...
I've got a weird one that's like, I have a series of 3 D12s, and one of them is like zodiac signs, and like one of them, they're a cool little set.
They're cool.
Some neat stuff out there.
I also accidentally once, I was playing a game where we had 3 D6s instead of D20s. And I kept rolling really, really low, and I couldn't figure out what was up. And I realized the dice I was using were only 1 through 3s twice. I was like, how do I keep rolling 3s? This should be impossible.
Oh, and then the explanation makes sense now.
It made sense once I thought about it. Once I figured it all out.
Good set.
But yeah, we've had a very exciting week in Iskar Academy, in our server especially. There's been all kinds of fun, exciting moments. Few highlights is there was a party down by the waterfall where Rivnus, one of our good buddies, was pulled underwater and brought into a dark cave, and basically everyone at the party just jumped to try to save him. So congratulations, everybody did a great job. You saved your friends. Rufus does have a very cool scar now across the abdomen, so everyone loves good scars. And if you haven't checked out the announcement that I literally just posted, we've got information on what your loot is that you got for doing that. So congratulations, you were all heroes, and some of you committed your first murders. So yay, lots of
Always a
drama.
fun step.
Wait, a
Lots of
legitimate
drama.
murder?
A few people were like, my character's never murdered anyone, and there's a lot of people into their bedrooms and were like, dear Lord, what did I do?
Welcome to hero training.
I played that a lot. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And in other exciting news, we're still trying to figure out who that damn werewolf is that got Nori. It seems like there's a couple of the TAs around campus who are trying to figure out what happened, trying to narrow it down. And indeed, 3 students tried to break into a restricted section of the library where information about lycanthropy is held, and they got in quite a bit of trouble for doing so. So punishments abound. And we got to see a little bit more of our lovely headmistress, Isolda, who is really, really mean. I think we can all agree with that, having seen her in that scene, although I'm pretty sure the server just blew up with how much they loved her, because you're all love mean ladies.
Mommy issues.
Freaks.
You all got fucking mommy issues. She's like, do I need
She's
to be your
mean.
professor, but whether you belong here? And they're like, no, don't tell my teacher. But generally it's been a wild week, but we've got some exciting events coming up the next 3 weeks. There's an exciting thing happening every week, and we'll get to that as we explore the game today. We do have to acknowledge Ian's hair really quickly before we do our intros.
What about it?
Yeah,
It's shorter.
it's shorter and it's 2 colors.
3 technically, if you want to
I was
consider.
gonna say more than 2 actually.
Yeah.
That toner made that silver underneath, but the outside's like kind of like banana yellow. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Banana phone. I approve.
Oh my God. Rafi.
It
Just
what?
banana phone.
Yeah. Bring.
But I know it. I just
phone.
didn't expect for a Rafi reference to come up.
Well, here we are. That's why people
Here we
follow
are.
us. We're that quality
Rafi
references.
references.
And then people are talking about glitter bomb. Do I remember what the glitter bomb was? Throw in the chat. Give us some more context. So I probably remember it once I see it. But I feel like my sense of time between the server and this is just gone. I'm like, did this happen this week or last week? I don't remember.
Yeah. Whoever puts highlights in the plots highlight channel, you are my favorite people.
Yeah, I'm like, we need to hire somebody to be like the school newspaper reporter.
Please.
Oh yes, so each of those 3 students who got in trouble got a different punishment, and Jim, who is our voice of reason, got a glitter bomb.
Beautiful.
Which is very cruel. We also had a lockbox that I believe is still in the process of being opened, and then Rowan has not yet found out what his punishment is, so that should be fun. Everyone loves a good punishment. But all that aside, let's jump into our intro, since we've talked a lot. If you're not following us, or if you're not in it already, you can join our Discord so you can play in the Iskar setting when we're not streaming, and we'll mention what goes on, just like we did with all of our heroes doing exciting things in the world. Y'all are very prolific. So I'm doing my best to keep up, but whole damn.
Why we need a reporter.
Yep. So let's begin our formal game. So welcome to Iskar Academy. We are an elite school specializing in the training of the future heroes of our realm. Our 3-year program prepares you for leadership and networking opportunities across the 2 continents. Our professors have extensive training in their areas of focus and often real-world experience in combat. Located in scenic Caracat in the heart of the Eastern Continent, we know you have many options for your mandatory training, and we're confident you'll be happy in choosing us. Yours in adventure, Headmaster Isolde and Headmaster Cardamon. I just want to, like, clearly she got a copywriter. Like, now that we've talked to her a bit, someone else
not write that.
Someone else wrote that intro letter to you all. Because if she'd probably be like, "Sup,
She
losers."
didn't write it. The
Her
other
PR
headmaster
team,
wrote
she
it,
wrote
and then
something.
someone edited it.
We call
PR
that
were
good
like,
PR.
"Do not release this."
Who was like, yeah, you know, like
They had Ryland write it.
Everyone
A
who's
few
not a wizard
tweaks.
is an idiot. And she's like, but they're idiots. I don't know what you want me to tell you. If you're not a
Maybe
wizard, you're an
we
idiot.
Don't say that though. Like in writing. Like
Why wouldn't I say it in writing? That's what it is. Are you an
say it-
idiot? Are you not a wizard? And they're like, no, ma'am, I'm a wizard. I'm a wizard.
I'm a wizard.
Switches classes.
Stuffing away my cleric amulet. I'm a wizard. I'm a wizard.
The fighters are like, huh?
Through and through. Just
Oh man.
wizarding it up.
The artificer professor is there, like, with his little like, he's got a typewriter he invented, and he's just like, make it nice, make it nice, make it nice.
It's never what she says, and she never proofreads it.
She never
Defend
proofread.
the continent.
Dictated but not read.
Yeah.
Headmaster Isolde.
Yeah.
Oh man. Anyways, that's excellent. I love it. If Iskar is known for anything, it's for its PR team.
Yeah.
Ouch. Fildo Bagans is on fire. Ouch. But
Awesome applause.
welcome to this episode. We are in midterm season. I am Melissa. I am your game master, and today, and as always, I am joined by
Me, Laura, and I am playing Lark, Reeve, High Elf Cleric.
You got there.
I got
Got
it.
there.
I got it.
Me, Luna, and I'm playing Moss, our bard, rogue, multi-class, extraordinaire, fawn, anarch who wants to burn everything to the ground. Yay.
And I'm Charr. I'm Ian, and I'm playing Charr, your biggest heart in Iskar, kobold paladin.
Your professor literally calls you Big Heart.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's his sweet little nickname for you.
Big heart.
Big Heart.
I noticed that there's like covering on something below me here, on the stream layout. It seems as though we're just 3 players in this episode today. So I don't know if you want to make the official announcement, Mel.
Yeah, I will. So we have our new player joining us next week. We had a lot of great people, and obviously it's so hard to pick between everyone. And in the end, we went with her name is Gemma, and she will be playing Celeste Harvest Moon, who is a human warlock. And some very fun backstory that we will get into when we meet Celeste. But that'll be next week. It's coincidentally during a full lunar eclipse. That probably means nothing. It probably means nothing. Probably means nothing.
I can't.
I wouldn't read into that. That's probably just a coincidence. Yeah. Okay, so yes, for all of us, so again, alluding to on the server, we have a list now of important dates that you can check out. Again, there's a link in the announcements to all the important stuff. But that means that we know that this coming week is midterm week. So as always, the way our schedule is going to work is we're going to kick off every week, every kind of new event with our stream. And then the week following, you'll be able to play out your character's interaction with that. So it is exam night for these 3 today, or exam week. And it is going to be exam week for you guys next week on the server. So let's start
If
off.
you haven't joined, wait one more week.
Just wait till after midterms.
Wait till after
Transfer in
after
after the
midterm.
test.
Transfer in after midterms.
I like it, just like immediately, like, definitely not going to freak out any werewolves. Have we even mentioned werewolves in this stream?
Who?
I think our last player got bit by a werewolf. So
Or so they
punched it in the
say.
face.
you did punch it in the face.
You
I have to say.
did.
I
You did
punched him
punch
in
it
the face
Okay.
and then
I hope
shouted at
you
him like his mother.
I hope you tell everyone you meet about that from now on. Like I
I
punched.
feel
I've
like
been
that's gonna be
trying.
like on the resume. Like that's always going to be on
at the top.
Lark's resume.
Punched a werewolf in the face.
You're supposed to heal
Oh,
us. I
man.
punched a werewolf though.
Yeah, we've got werewolves, dark runes, creatures made of dark energy. We did have, I don't remember if this was this week or not, but we did find a lovely little Jisoo statue out by some ancient ruins, and some players put it together, rebuilt it, and brought it back to its former glories. Now there's a safe little haven out by the ruins for this sweet little guy, and I believe you named him Greg. I believe his name is Greg. The the little statue. They're like, does he like his name? And I'm like, he has had many names, and all names are as good as any other. Let me double check his name here that I did Gabe. His name is Gabe. I apologize. Gabe is an earth god, and he's a local god who protects children and travelers. So as young adults who are traveling through this great world, he's probably going to be a really good friend. But today, let's start off with a little bit of our let's do performance class.
Hey,
You guys love performance class.
Ready to juggle, Moss?
As some of you may remember,
So you're juggling.
I forgot about that part.
as some of you may remember, the professor Callahan Dalma, who is the head of the performance class, had everybody stand up in the center of the room on day one, and had everyone judge them on what they thought the person would be good at. And that is indeed what they are meant to learn this semester. So Moss was told to learn how to juggle. I believe Lark was told to learn were you told to be a mean girl or sing?
Singing.
Singing.
Be a mean girl.
Somebody was like, she looks like she'd bully me.
She looks like she would bully me.
And Charr, I believe you were
And
told
listen to Kobo
dance.
Pop.
K-pop.
Kenku
Kobo
pop.
Pop.
Kenku pop.
That's right. Kenku Pop, yeah.
Mhm.
And Charr is supposed to be dancing in some ilk. I can't remember what kind though.
Tap dance.
Tap dancing, supposedly.
Tap dancing.
But will I do it?
But will you do it? So, first off, let's get into the class. So this is sort of the day before exams. Let's say this is your final study period to prepare for what is going to be your performance of how you've done so far on learning those various skills. So let's start off with just a nice little roll from each of you, a performance check for how well you are doing today in your class.
God.
Already
Which
nauseous.
dice do I
Are
choose?
you nauseous? Because I'm nauseous.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm nauseous. I'm telling you.
Why do I
like
feel
I
like
can't
this
escape?
This isn't
I can't
real. I
escape.
know. It's not real.
Like, I don't want to roll.
Oh gracious Mel, the DM of the century.
Yes.
I truly think that Charr decided he did not want to tap dance,
Yeah.
but has instead used the skills of tap dancing to fully transition into another type of performance
Okay.
where he's sitting but still using his feet. Well, maybe not sitting, leaning on his tail as like a backrest. And so he's taken up more of a double bass kick drum with maybe it's, I was gonna say toms around, like maybe a drum
Brave.
kit of sorts.
Brave.
And maybe it's not necessarily what we expect as in like rhythmic drums that you would maybe hear. It's like maybe it's like tribal influence being like, this is performance that I've gathered from my people.
So many,
I'm
so many
imagining one of
guidance
those-
spells
I mean,
cast
imagine
on
one
it.
of those boxes that you pat on, but you're leaning and you're kicking the boxes.
I think the thing might be that on my feet are still like the tap dance equipment or maybe like heavy metal pieces, and maybe I'm using my feet on the drums themselves.
Yeah.
Oh, not like a one-man band kind of thing where they like.
Oh no, it's still just
Okay.
it's completely like it's like what someone would think was like, oh, maybe this is like a kobold drum solo, but it's He's bouncing on using his tail to keep balance or to rest his body as his feet are kind of tapping on these drums, as he's also using his hands to hit these other drums around him. So it's definitely not anything that I think our professor was to be expecting, and I had to probably drag some stuff in.
Did you tell them you were switching focuses?
Well, nothing in canon that it's been said before.
I think the rest of you don't need to worry about exams anymore.
I'm gonna say, like, out of all the professors, I don't think that's the one.
Lark has guidance,
like,
right? I feel like Charr needs guidance.
I'd be like, I'm not gonna do what he told me to do. I'm gonna do something completely different.
And can I convince him that with me using my feet stuff in it, it's still tap dancing, so I'm still using the technique I would have gotten from the tap dancing lessons.
All right. I like, this is a very long description before you give me what your role was. So
I didn't roll.
Bad.
I didn't roll yet.
Okay.
That's why I was like trying to be like, what do you want me
When you were setting it up, I was like, he's really playing up.
No,
I have Shield of Faith. If the professor tries to throw something at you.
I also walked in after casting heroism on myself, so I cannot be frightened.
Everybody who has heroism is just like immediately before Cal's class.
I'm gonna also...
I said there's a hallway outside where it's just like, who has heroism? How many times can you cast it? I will pay you 3 gold to cast it on me right now.
Hey, the components for this one are kind of higher this time around.
Component costs are going up these days.
Oh, ain't that the truth? So we're rolling performance, correct?
Yeah, so let's do Char's first. Let's see how Charr goes, and I'm gonna need a second roll from you as well when you're done.
You can't roll better than that. You cannot roll better than that. Okay, you said you needed 2 rolls from me. Guess what 2 dice I used, and guess what those numbers were. Guess what those fucking numbers. Guess what those
20.
fucking numbers were. That's my
Jesus.
chair I just threw. I didn't expect.
Someone clip that.
I threw my dice too. Hold on.
Ian's riled up. Ian, did you roll 2 20s? What a douche.
You did it.
Woo!
Oh my god. Why are you like this?
This is why I need to get the cam for the dice.
What's your persuasion bonus, please?
My persuasion
and you know what?
performance?
What's
It's
your
+5.
total? What's your total of both?
Oh,
Actually?
25.
Oh my god, you fucking monster.
Heroism, it made me confident.
Oh my god. Holy shit, you convinced Callahan Dalma, 14th level character, to let you switch.
Ooh.
And you're fucking nailing it.
And so I think in the process of it, like, before I even go up, I think I would go up to him and be like, so I don't necessarily want to switch. I just want to modify.
That's how you convinced him. You really like played into the like how you're going to like do a new take on it. And the reason nobody said that is because this is something new. Mm-hmm. Nobody knew you could do this.
I feel like half the class is just giving death stares at Charr as he actually succeeds at this.
I call this
and
one
the other
chop
half
suey.
is in awe.
Yeah.
It's by the Kobold Band's system of down the mountain range.
System of a down the mountain range?
Right.
I got nothing.
Oh god. All right. Well, you know what? You ruled 220, so I can't really argue with you.
I'll be gone. That was my rolls for the day. Bye.
You're done. You're done.
Charr that was his heroic journey. Getting
that
those
was,
2.
yeah.
You can really only go down from here.
Yeah, that's it.
There you go. So Charr introduced a new form of music. Basically, I think you really played up that this is like an independent study kind of thing, you know, like Charr's gonna kind of revolutionize the world of barding.
As a paladin.
Somehow.
And I'm not a bard.
To let you try. And based on that performance roll, he was right to let you try.
Oh, he is a visionary, as they say.
Yeah. When you're sort of all like, you know, when you're in school and you're kind of all throughout the room doing your own thing independently, when he walks by you, he like looks you in the eye and just goes and keeps walking. But like you get a head nod. You got a head nod from Callahan Doma.
Unheard of.
This man does not give head nods. Are you sweaty? I'm sweaty.
I mean, my room's way too hot to begin with, so yes. But I have not gotten that amped over dice rolls in a very long time.
Oh man.
Oh.
Well, so much for
you're gonna have to go tell your TAs later about just like how ridiculously well that went. Yeah, just go around to the Bard students and tell them like do better.
Gotta be humble. Nope. I'm gonna give them practice tips because I'm an expert now.
Yeah, actually, how does so he gives you the head nod. All the people around you stop what they're doing and like look at you like, oh my god, what do you do? What do you say?
I think I take it maybe a little bit obliviously at that point. Maybe it's like he gives me the head nod, and it's like one of those things where it's like I'm just looking down, just breathing, like that just happened. Okay, I'm good, and I'm not taking in what's around me. I think people can kind of see me as he walks by. Do the whole like, you know how someone could be standing and then they just get like one of those head to toe shivers in animation where they're like their frame just goes
yeah
from like staying only in that one little section. That happens to me and gets to the bottom or tip of my head and my eyes open up and he goes, holy shit. And he looks around at everyone.
Has Charr ever sworn before?
Yes. He's
in front of this class?
Oh, in front of this class? No.
Like everyone's like, did the paladin just swear and also do better than every bard? What the fuck is this class? So we'll continue along the room. We're gonna follow Cal as he works through. Next person we see who we care about is Lark. So Lark, you are learning was it Kobold Pop or Kelku Pop?
It was Kenku
neither.
Kenku
Pop,
Pop.
come on.
It was
Neither.
Okay, so if you're gonna do the thing he told you to practice, then yeah, just give us a performance roll.
Yep, it's just singing. So that's what I'm gonna. Oh, no, she's gonna play the piano with it
because she plays piano.
Because that's her thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're playing. Actually, you know what? So give me. Let's say. Ooh, do I want to say roll with advantage? I'm gonna say roll with advantage because what you're doing here is you're doing two things. Like he assigned you to do singing. You are going to sing and play piano, which is already above and beyond.
Okay. I'm so mad I can't double task. My hands are full now.
You could tap dance with your lower parts. Do like a hoof tap dance and then juggling.
That's what I did. You kind of have the feet for it too. The hoofs helps out a little bit.
A 15 and a 21.
Nicely done. All right.
Thank God for advantage because I rolled an 8.
You're like, thank God. But 21. Yeah, he walks over and you're doing very, very well. And actually it's him watching you that makes you make like a few slight mistakes. Which is common. Like this guy is very intimidating. So it makes sense that as soon as he is right there staring at you, there's just a little bit like it's not that you make any mistakes playing, it's more that like you go a little bit too fast and then you're like, wait, and you go back, right? So you catch yourself. But he definitely knows. And he lingers a little bit longer than he has with anyone else before he continues on. Do you have a song picked out that Lark is playing?
Yeah. Which is actually like one of my favorite songs. So when I was like, she's playing piano, you gotta go with Billy Joel. He is the piano man. The song she picked is Vienna, which is probably my favorite song. Absolutely my favorites. There's a really, really good cover. I think I can link it.
Yeah, throw that
in
into
the chat.
Yeah.
Throw it in the chat, and if you have time, throw it into the server as well, so people can check it out. It is a really nice version.
It's like I said, for it to being one of my favorite songs, that was a pretty easy choice. Well, it was between that and it was between It's an Oasis song, but they used it in a Christmas commercial here in England, and now I just call it the Oasis Christmas song, but it's not a Christmas song. Hang on.
So someone said excellent choice. Thanks, 13 going on 30. Is that the version from it?
I don't know.
Oh.
I mean, I have seen that movie once. I don't know it well enough to.
It's 13 going on 30, and then what's the reverse version that has Chandler and
Zac Efron
in it?
Yeah, I don't
13
know.
again or 17 again? 17 again.
Something like that, yeah.
13 going on 30 and 17 again are
Yeah.
the two versions of the same movie, in my opinion.
Yeah, the other option was going to be Half the World Away by Oasis. That's one of my favorite songs. But you have to look for the British Christmas advert version.
You gotta save that one for your exam, right?
I know. It's fine.
Banging out them tunes.
It's fine.
I'll do fine on exams. Awesome. Well done. All right. Moss, would you please explain to us what you're juggling? And the flavor of your juggling. Are you funny? Are you serious? What is it? Tell us it all.
Okay. Moss is actually going to be doing juggling using rings. I don't want to call them plastic rings because I don't think Moss would be using plastic right now, but you know what I'm talking about.
Some
she's
kind of
definitely
thing
using
that's
rings.
like similar to plastic, but isn't going to break when it falls.
Yeah, isn't going to break when it's falling. And then she is kind of playfully using it with her mage hand happening at the same time as being her own partner, her juggling partner, basically. That's what she's doing.
All right. Okay. So lay it on us. Give us a performance roll.
I'm scared.
Like, come on, Moss.
You got this. Is anyone helping Moss?
Is anyone helping me?
I don't have any.
I haven't looked at the roll yet. I'm scared. I'm legitimately scared. Melissa, you did this to me after finals. Like, I'm scared.
Other than a good shout out, you got this, Moss.
I cast command, and that says do good.
Do good.
So
Command word, be good.
I'm just gonna take a picture of this.
Don't you fucking do this to me. Don't you do this to us.
I'm just gonna.
Is that your way of saying you got a 20?
I did. Ignore the one that's in the shot of my other D20 that's in my pan.
And what's your bonus?
I have a +6 in performance, so that's a 26.
There you go. All right.
One-upped.
Yes.
Literally one-upped.
Well, apparently you all decided that this is the class to do well in. Like, this is it. This is, you're gonna blow everything on this elective and have nothing left for all of your major classes.
Look, technically performance is part of my bard classes, so like I'm really winning here.
This is like the like why everybody's like, oh, if you take a class with him, you'll do so well, and it's just because you give up on every other class. Just
Brutal.
give up completely. So anything special about the way that you do this?
Me as a player doesn't know enough about juggling, so she's just using the mage hand as her her juggling partner. That's pretty much it.
All right.
Which is impressive because she's focusing on the spell at the same time.
She's concentrating on the spell and still doing the juggling.
And moving the spell like as she's also focusing on her body. So
are you doing 3?
Huh?
3 hoops? 3 rings?
I think she's doing 5.
Yeah, I was gonna say with the
5
extra hand, add the extra 2 hoops.
Yeah, with the extra hand.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. Well, mage hand's only one hand, right?
Yeah.
Mage hand is only one hand.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it'd be
mage hands, then you patty
yeah.
cake.
Yeah. Well, technically with the rings, you can have like one on your wrist and then like rotate, like if you can do the weird like hula hoop situation. So they're rings, so she can have like some hula hooping on her wrist while she's like whenever she fumbles, you can just make that a trick, basically.
Who put the knife in there?
Yeah.
Who said that?
Charr doesn't.
Honestly, I'm not. If if me as a person wasn't too anxious, I'd be like, honestly, Charr, throw a knife and see what happens. But I'm too scared to ruin that natural 20 right now.
That's exams. Exams is you throw it up and throw a knife with your mage hand through it in the air or something.
Yeah.
This is just midterms. You guys are doing really well for just midterms. Jesus Christ, you all rolled over 20. All right. Well, congratulations. You Cal goes around the class doing kind of the final audit for this half semester, and taking a few notes on each of your performances as he goes around the classroom. Let's see how Enris is doing in this class.
Please. What's
Can I give him Bardic Inspiration?
So
I'm giving Enris Bardic Inspiration.
Does anyone remember what Enris was supposed to be learning?
I don't know.
Poetry recitation.
Poetry.
And I'm giving him a D6 of Bardic Inspiration. I should have probably given this to my classmates.
Party members, but I'll give it to Enris.
I forgot about it till now, but it's okay.
Would you have wanted me to have Bardic on that?
Honestly, if it would have been epic, yeah.
All right, let's see
Moss
how
isn't gonna be jealous of it.
Labrie Divine Soul is doing. It's a good thing you gave him a bonus. Although, you know what? No, he has a good performance roll. So he's probably got, because he's a higher level than you guys too. So he's also got
he's a higher level and he's a charisma based class.
Yeah, so he gets a 23. So not too bad. Not too bad.
Very good.
Hey.
What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, he got a 6 on the inspiration dice.
True.
So he's gonna give you when Cal walks by, Enris kind of looks at Moss and gives her a little bit like a. Actually, you know what? He has message. You're gonna hear. He like puts his finger to his mouth like this, like he's just kind of like tapping it, and in your ear you hear. I want to talk to you after class.
Understood.
But of course, he doesn't say it like he's, a professor. He says it like, why'd you help me kind of deal. Well done. Good job, guys. I'm glad we started with this and not, I was like, should I have them just roll all their classes to start? And I was like, they're too anxious for that. They're too anxious for that.
I'm already sweaty.
They're already sweaty. I can't do that to them.
That's 2 different anxiouses. Too anxious.
And bid them both at the same time. Don't do that.
I can't multitask.
Yeah, nicely done. I don't know if there's anybody else who we know and like who's in this class who we want to kind of know more about. But I think that's kind of all the main people. If West was in this class, she would be actively trying to ruin Moss's day, because that's her favorite game. Her favorite game is messing with Moss. Just like one day you pick up your hoops and they just like one of them is cut in half or something, and like after you throw it twice it just like breaks. Like, damn it. It's a good thing everyone here knows mending. So class finishes up for the day. You are all good to move on to, let's say, study hall today. Or actually, you know what? Let's roll for it. Let's find out. High or low is study versus melee.
What about lunch?
Somebody pick.
Low.
Yeah.
Oh.
Low
Wait.
is
Low.
Low is study.
Low is study. Yeah.
Okay. Low is study. It is indeed study period. There you go.
Hey.
So after this, you guys have so in the morning you have your main class, and you have a nice hour-long lunch. Then you have your elective, and then you have study hall, and then after study hall you'll have dinner. So everybody heads out of the room, and as they do, Cal is going to ask Lark to stay back. Ooh, trouble.
I was gonna go have another shower.
You're like, damn it, I'm so sweaty right now.
Sweaty right now.
Doing this. So to reintroduce Cal, for those of you who don't know, because it's been a while as well, and we're also streamlining a bit of the story so far. So the whole thing about Cal is that on Lark's way to the school the first time, she ran into Cal. They didn't exchange names or any details, and through a series of misunderstandings, did not realize that they were both going to Iskar Academy, which ended with them kissing on the beach. I think that's as far as they went, right? Just kind of spent the night kissing a bit, and come morning, she ran off and continued on her quest to Iskar. So since then, it's been very kind of awkward between them. They both definitely know and remember, but neither of them has done anything other than just kind of like looks and considerations. So like that long look we had when he was greeting Lark, there's just been a lot of like consideration. Cal, for those who don't know, he is a human man with kind of blondie, actually kind of like completely mid-tone hair. Like it's a little dark, but it's a little blonde. And he has a very large scar over one eye that looks like maybe it was from like a lightning spell or something. So it's got like this crackly effect over it. Both of his eyes still work though. So Cal asks Lark to stay back. Enris will give you a little bit of a like secret thumbs up, like you got this, because he knows you've been anxious, but he doesn't quite know why. So yeah. You just awkwardly stand there waiting for him to tell you, I imagine.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no. I wanna get a sense of what is Lark's internal monologue at this moment.
This is bouncing. She, I mean, definitely thinks that she's in trouble, and she's not sure. I mean, there could be multiple reasons why he might be upset with her. She's just not sure which one it is.
You okay. So just like anxiety brain. What did I do to upset him? Oof.
Oh my God, even my hands are sweating. Fuck.
Oof. Poor Laura's like, I gotta opt out. He says, it's interesting that you chose to play piano and sing. Would you like to explain why?
Singing's easier with music, and since I play the piano, I figured it was just as easy for me to make the music.
So you haven't been practicing playing that song, only singing it?
I mean, both.
Yeah.
I feel like I said something wrong already. How is this a wrong answer?
God, she's rolling. He says, I've noticed that while you are very talented as a performer, something is holding you back.
Sure. If you have suggestions for improvement, I'd be happy to hear them.
I've heard from some of the other students that you haven't been sleeping well.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a few late nights recently.
This isn't something new.
What do you mean?
I have heard this said over the course of at least 3 weeks.
I mean, I'm not sure why anybody is so concerned about me sleeping, but it's not that I haven't, tried. Just midterms and studying, and it's just.
He lets out like a long sigh, like he really didn't want to have to spell it out, but he's going to. I feel like it might be my fault.
I mean, No, I mean, not your fault. I mean, it is something that, you know, occupies my mind when I'm trying to sleep. So, but that's not your fault. I mean, it's not. That's not your fault.
I know you're doing well in all of your classes and working hard. But I know that you can do better if you don't have whatever happened between us hanging over your head.
Okay. What do you suggest?
I don't think it's my place to suggest anything. I would rather know what it is that would help you.
This is one of the conversations that I kept thinking about when, you know, when I was not sleeping. I mean, I know that, you know, when we said that we'd meet back up in Caracat, I know this wasn't what the plan was. But I mean, my feelings haven't changed. I mean, if I don't know, I mean, I've tried reading the books in the library on school policy, and there's just nothing in there. So I don't know if it's just not allowed or not addressed, or, I mean, we're, you know, adults, but, you know, if you've changed your mind, then I can accept that too, with, you know, no hard feelings.
Give me an insight roll quickly.
Oh, I'm so sweaty.
Insight.
Well, I have good insight.
The
21.
surprise. Look at me.
Look at me. 21. It's always a surprise. 21, sorry.
I'm sorry. You can tell that surprises him. Like you've surprised him with that answer. That is not what he was expecting you to say. Specifically, he is surprised that you have been looking for books about it. And he says, well, there is information on that, but it's not something that is publicized to students.
Makes sense.
And if that's something you are interested in, I would also be interested in that. But there would be some steps involved.
Like paperwork? What?
Start.
Oh, I was joking. Okay. Oh, that's formal.
Very formal. I spoke to one of the bar professors, Professor Lara, and he's assured me that it is more common than one might expect, given the age of some of our professors, and that we would not be the first or the only current student relationship. As soon as he says relationship, he seems to get really awkward for a second, and he needs to like take a second. And when he continues, he says, there is some initial paperwork as well as interviews with the headmasters and ongoing check-ins, many of which would be on your shoulders as to make sure that I'm not taking advantage of you. And he like looks away like, dear Lord.
If that's not so bad.
It wouldn't be something we would be able to advertise either.
I suppose, even with everyone being adults, I suppose it's probably not something that they want to encourage.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that sounds easy enough. Some stuff to sign, some meetings.
I will start the paperwork then.
Okay.
All right, let's roll to see how awkward it is to figure out how you guys say goodbye to each other. Because there's like, do I give her a hug, a handshake? Let's see what he decides to do.
It's like a fist bump, like a.
I'm rolling on a scale from 1 to 20, 1 being very formal and 20 being more like intimate. And he rolled an 8. So what's an 8 on the scale?
Between formal and intimate?
Between formal and intimate.
A side hug.
Is it a side hug?
Oh, a side hug.
Is it like a handshake that he has the other hand that he like pats over it?
Oh yeah, there.
That might be it. That might be
it.
All right.
I know it was like about to go for a side hug and then decides to put the hand down
It's
instead.
a little awkward.
That-
Yeah,
exactly.
It's a little awkward. Like he's clearly not sure. Even though you guys have discussed this, the whole point is that you haven't talked to anyone about it yet. So he's like, what can I do that's nice that isn't going to get me fired? And he does indeed decide to do he tries to do a side hug and he goes down and takes your hand and then he like puts his hand over it and he gives you like a very gentle kind of like squeeze and like finger rub. So if anyone was watching, it would seem like a handshake, but you can tell, obviously you can feel that there's more intention there. And you can see in his eyes a very familiar desire that he has not allowed himself to feel to this point again.
Okay, it's weird in the classroom, isn't it?
Yes, and he lets go. Good luck with the rest of your exams.
Thank you. I will look forward to the delivery of your paperwork.
Mm-hmm. And then I feel like you just kind of like back out of the room like Homer Simpson into the like bush.
Is what comes after this class? Is it just like a free period or a study period?
It's a study hall, yeah.
Okay.
So 2 hours of mandatory study hall. You have to go somewhere and you have to be like doing some kind of text-based work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All that.
New meat and potatoes. There you go. So congratulations. Time for the very sexy process of paperwork. You should also probably at some point talk to Enris. Seeing as you hung out with him that one night.
I suppose I could. or
I could never ever do that.
Never do that ever.
We are literally in the same class with him. It's gonna make it even more awkward.
Yeah,
You
we'll live that.
can't
We'll work with that.
him.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna I'll back out of the classroom and then I'm gonna like giddy run to the showers. I need a shower. A cold one.
I need to shower immediately. Oh my lord.
It's a happy run.
It's just like somebody's
showers.
watching, like
Cold water.
Look at her go. Look at her go. Awesome. Good job. Okay, I have another little scene planned out with obviously for Moss and then for Charr. But is there anything you guys wanted to do before we get into that stuff? Anybody you wanted to visit or check in with before we jump into those?
Chris said that he needed to talk to me, right?
Yep. Enris is gonna. Well, he wants to talk to you. He's not like
Yeah.
And then Charr, I figured you might want to talk to Soslan and maybe go for a little bit of a walk.
I could do that, yeah.
Yeah, but beyond that, is there anything else you guys want to do, or should we jump right into those? Jump.
I'm cool to jump in myself.
All right.
Just jump in.
Before we do that, time to roll for another one of your things.
Oh, goodness.
Let's roll for another one of your electives. So you all have 3 electives to see how you're doing. So pick your second elective that you would like to roll in for the moment. And same as usual. You're going to roll that skill and a 20.
Let me remind myself what electives I'm taking.
You're like, oh, Lord.
Yeah, I'm going to double check myself.
Yeah, it's like, I can't remember.
I had it right.
I do have some of them written down.
Please.
Ooh.
So, Lark is taking medicine, performance, and survival. Moss is taking performance, persuasion, and stealth. And Charr is taking acrobatics, performance, and perception.
Ooh, I'm going to do acrobatics.
Yep.
I'm gonna do stealth.
Mm-hmm.
Which dice to choose? I feel like the one I rolled earlier that gave me the nat 20 is cursed now. Like it got with that one nat 20.
Yeah, like I can't trust you again. I can't trust you again. And what's Lark gonna roll for next?
Medicine.
Medicine. All right.
Yeah, that has my highest. Let's just
Do the things you're best at first.
Right? Let's just save failure for the end if it comes to it. All right, and that's just performance?
No, it'll be the medicine check.
It'll be medicine. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Lark and edgy professor are gonna do paperwork, much romance.
You forgot
The fact
the
that they're
interview.
willing to do paperwork says a lot.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, paperwork.
Ooh, baby.
16.
16. Alrighty.
Fantastic.
23.
23 on stealth. Yep.
22.
22 in acro. You guys are all starting with the things you're really good at. So yeah, well done. Acro and stealth go pretty much the way you expect them to go. It's been pretty self-explanatory. It's sort of just like a sum up of what you've been doing so far this semester. Medicine has been a really rough class in general. Lark, the Professor Gideon is just they don't really seem to give a lot of care considering. So like Neua, who's your cleric professor, is clearly very invested in healing people. Gideon doesn't seem like they care about anyone, and it's very hard to connect with this view of medicine as like this completely disconnected thing from the people you'd be healing. So you're not the only one who's been struggling in this class. It's weird.
Sure you want to heal people?
Yeah, like
What
you're
do
all
you
like, do they even care? And it's like, no. You may remember this is the professor who Nori was brought to confirm vampirism, and Nori was very uncomfortable and did not appreciate the way that either Gideon or Isolde treated him. So anyways,
Right.
not surprise you to know. Okay, let's dive into another one. Moss or Charr, who wants to go first?
I just want to get it out of the way.
Yeah, go for it. Go.
Like,
Oh,
I'm
go
just
for it.
anxious in general now. Like, please.
Right? What?
No, I misspoke. I meant werewolf. I was like, it's Twilight's fault for putting werewolf and vampire right next to each other in my head.
It's a lot.
You know? I don't know why. I mean, there's all kinds of other fae-like creatures. I don't know why. But anyways, I don't think they are fae, actually. Those are both diseases by D&D rules?
Contractable curses.
Contractable curses. There you go.
Cool.
Okay. So yeah, do you want to set up where that scene starts?
Okay, I feel like after we walk out of the classroom, I just go to Enris and like, hey, you said you want to talk?
Yeah. We haven't talked much. And you helped me get a good grade on that exam.
Is there an issue with that? Because it's kind of
Oh no, I'm thankful. It'd be pretty embarrassing if a third year couldn't compete with the first years, to be completely honest.
although it would have been entertaining, but embarrassing, but entertaining. Not in the way that we would have liked. But
which is why I'm a little surprised you helped me, to be honest.
there's different forms of entertainment. I'm allowed to appreciate all of them and be well-rounded.
You are. I'm just not used to rogues being helpful. Or bards, for that matter. And he just and then he starts listing, or clerics, or druids, and he ends up just listening like every class.
So you're not
Makes
used
sense.
to the concept of kindness?
Yeah, that's not a big thing on the third years.
Mm, mhm.
Yeah, people don't like me. Yeah.
See, I have no reason to jump on that bandwagon immediately, at least from what I've seen from you, so why not?
There's a couple people in your class who've surprised me with their insight to how things actually work here.
Oh, well, that's a whole other conversation, but
Well, this is
No,
like what you
please.
get into heavy detail.
it's like, here's the pamphlet. I'm joking, she's not a pamphlet.
Oh no, he's 100% like, tell me everything. He wants to know. I'm gonna say
This
you guys are
place
heading
is-
towards the study room, which is like a
This place is just getting us ready for war and the connections that is. It's all about making alliances, and not that I'm trying to do that with you, clarification, but it feels like the way to oppose that is by making more genuine connection, not necessarily by isolation.
so you potentially trust your cohort, but not anyone in a position of power.
I think the positions of power have more opportunity for the corruption of that power, and I am more weary. It can be shown that they are decent people. I haven't quite seen that with Professor Lara, just getting there. Still needs more convincing from me part, but I'm just very cynical. So possible, working his way towards it.
I see. So you do you not trust them because of something they've done, or just because they have power they're likely corrupt?
Probably a bit of the latter. Their actions have softened that distrust to the point that I can say that I'm not believing that they're plotting my demise. Obviously,
Some of them are.
Yeah.
Because,
Obviously,
like of course some people are planning to kill you.
yeah. It's like that's just probability at this point. Like, like there's someone out there. Just as like there's someone out there who's being really nice, there's also someone out there who's plotting your demise. Like the two ends of the spectrum can coexist at the same time here.
There's not many people in your year who figured that out yet.
Well, hopefully they get to it eventually.
There's a couple. There's one of the other first years, Fiona, said something similar to me. Would it surprise you to know that I turned down a position as a TA this year?
I guess no, because I would have turned it down if it was given to me. But also, I guess that some people do see it as an honor, but I don't. So that's kind of a.
There's a reason that I'm on the second floor, even though I'm a third year.
And I assume by that general, just step it back and leave it there. You don't want to talk about more, which is fine. I get that, but just making sure we're on the same page here. Like, you don't owe me anything. Like, honestly. So like you don't have to say diddly shit. So
I don't. But it's complicated.
Everything is. If it's not complicated, you're missing part of a lot of the picture.
There were a lot of reasons why it wasn't ideal for me to be a sorcerer TA specifically. You can roll to see if you know, like, who
is it the rumor of him being yeah, it's the rumor. Is it that rumor that everyone is convinced you're sleeping with the professor? Probably. Is it that one, or do I need to roll?
Right? Like,
Oh, damn.
I shouldn't. Is it because you're banging her?
I said it was a rumor. I didn't say that I believed it. I just said it was a rumor. Is it because of that rumor? Like, Moss has no filter when it suits. Like, Moss can have no filter and then turn the filter on when it suits her, basically.
Oh shit! I can't. Hang on, I gotta roll for him to see how he reacts to that. I'm sorry.
She has
I don't think anyone has ever just asked him outright.
She didn't ask it. She just asked, "Is it that rumor?"
Sorry, that no one
She
has
didn't
ever
ask if he was
referenced it?
doing it. She just asked
Yeah,
if it
sorry.
was the rumor.
that anybody has ever just outright talked to him about this rumor. Like, people whisper, but no one's ever acknowledged his face.
People need to get their shit together.
Like, yeah, like there's
And
also,
I just like I'm just confusing this man at this point.
he just like looks at you like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, he's just like, did you just
Would you have preferred me to whisper like everyone else? Because I could have done that.
Oh, it's refreshing. Okay. We're talking about this.
You don't need to talk about it. You can just walk away from that conversation if you want to, but you know.
Well, I mean, I can talk
You
about
have
it.
choices. Like,
No one's ever actually wanted to talk about it. They just want to.
it's not that I want to talk about it. You necessarily brought up of potentially it being a reason of why you're on the second floor. My response was probably, if that rumor is a thing, that could
Well,
potentially be a reason for it.
No, I'm on the second floor because the other TAs all hate me.
Oh, okay.
Everyone in my year hates me. Is the reason.
Yeah, some people are just assholes.
Yeah, like every single TA. Yeah, I agree.
Some people are just assholes. Now, I haven't had that issue with Random yet. He's a little bit crass, but you know,
I didn't
whatever.
even say Random's name.
He's my
just,
TA.
like,
He's one of my
completely-
TAs. That's why I brought him up. Yes, I also have the other.
Wait, does he tell you how much he hates me all the time?
He doesn't have a filter either.
Mentioned it 4
You're just
times.
ruining Enris's. Enris is just like. Wait,
Like-
so he tells the first years about me? What did he tell you?
He doesn't like say much, but it's not like it doesn't take someone with high insight to be like, oh, he definitely doesn't like that person. Like,
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Enris.
You've just only been here a month and a half, and I didn't expect this. But also, you don't want to know. You're just.
it's not that I don't want to know. I'm just letting you know that like you don't owe me anything. I think that's what I'm trying to make sure, that you are aware that you have a choice.
Of course, I have a choice. What are you gonna do? I'm a divine soul sorcerer, and you're multi-classing. No offense, it's gonna take you a while to get anything good.
Yeah, it just makes me a little more resourceful then.
Yeah. Apparently, I'm finding that out. I'm learning that.
One hell of a way for it to find out then.
I mean, I'm not against. What other stuff do you know about me?
Not much. I'm just decently observant when it's easy when people underestimate you to be observant. Pretty
Yes. And It's still
Yeah.
weird. So
I'm
is
not,
there
like,
more? Is there
I'm
more
not-
that you're gossiping that people are? Do I miss all this gossip because no one likes me?
Probably. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, probably, but also like some of the gossip is really just a waste of time.
Like what?
Like really? Like honestly, a lot of it is just a waste of time. So like also you're not missing much, but like the good I don't even want to call it the good tidbits, the either entertaining or have the smallest sliver of truth to them that could potentially be picked up with observation and just general good logic skills.
Yeah. I mean, they don't quite have it right.
Well, rumors, it's word of mouth. Oration tradition is beautiful in the sense that yes, you can keep sharing it, but it
People
also
really
has a
think I'm
fault.
dating Kaylin, the sorcerer professor.
Some people potentially think it, or just
Really?
other. It's I don't know. Apparently, they think it. I haven't seen the sorcerer professor at all, so I have no frame of reference. I'm just working off of what people are saying. Not that I believe it, but whatever. People apparently whisper about it and get their shits and giggle from it, and let themselves feel like they're on a higher pedestal from it. So whatever. Some people need the ego boost, which is kind of sad for them.
Okay, I feel like you're also just playing that up to be nice to me.
Playing it up.
Like that it's just people just do it for an ego boost so that I don't take
Well,
it.
some people do it
feel
for
shitty.
ego. It's not all of it, but some people just are also very. Some people also lack the. What's the word I'm searching for here? The general taking things with a grain of salt.
Right. So somebody at some point said I had a relationship with a professor and everyone thinks I'm fucking her.
From what I've gathered, yeah.
Super. That's incredibly awkward. Wow.
Has no one said this? Like, I feel like have you not gotten a whiff of this at all?
No.
Maybe you
On
should
the
take
plus side, I
insight
mean,
as an elective next semester.
we were
Like, no.
I mean, we were trying to hide our relationship, but I'm not dating her.
So there is a relationship there, but
Well,
people
yeah.
always misread things all the time too. So it's people are both wonderfully and frustratingly complicated. So,
All right. Apparently, that's a thing that exists in the world now, and I'm
well, not
I'm
now.
cool with that.
It's been existing, but
Yeah, but now I know. And that means I have to tell her, and that's gonna be awkward. She's a wild mage and kind of unpredictable.
Okay. I would suggest writing a letter, but this feels like a more face-to-face talk,
I'm not gonna
honestly.
write my sister a letter.
Ooh, siblings. See, I have no advice for that. Well, no, I technically do, but they're not blood siblings anyway. But
Oh, please, if you have any insight on how to convince my
I don't
sister
have
I'm not
much.
fucking my sister, please tell me.
I don't know. Maybe why does it have to be secrets that your sibling is the first question? It seems like the best way to kill all these is just be like, no, you. Why would you?
I guess I could just say ew. That doesn't feel like a very mature way to handle it. But
No, I'm not
we are
saying
in
no.
university, so maybe I lean into that.
No, I'm just.
So what? Like I
tend to have answers. Like
he just seems so tired now. He's just like, oh my god, how long have people thought this? Like, you
do
can
we need to get you coffee? Like, I feel like you need coffee.
You know that meme where it's just like the looking in the distance and the math is over top? That's Enris's brain right now. He's just like, oh my god, like he's just putting together all the times people have said things that he hasn't figured out.
Okay, you need coffee. You need a moment to just process.
Yeah, maybe some alcohol
think-
to just wipe the idea of ugh. Ugh.
But then you'd be back where you started.
I have a hard time believing any information is bad information, but oh boy.
It's not necessarily bad information, just unwelcome.
Okay. Cool. That's new information for me. I feel like I should thank you.
I don't even know if I want to accept a thank because you look very distressed by this whole conversation.
Oh.
So I don't even know if it's appropriate for me to accept a thank you.
Yeah, no, that's why we tried to hide it, because when I was in first year, my sister being in charge would be a reason people would think I'm good at what I do, and it's not why.
See,
there's a
people
reason
went
why
the
I
wrong
picked her TA,
direction
because
with
it
that.
would be pretty obvious that she was giving me preferential treatment.
People really, people went the wrong direction with that rumor.
No shit, they did.
The wrong direction. Okay.
More than a coffee, I think I need a drink.
You still have exams? Well, honestly, no, that, I can't even
Serious,
judge that.
I'm a divine soul sorcerer, all right? It's fine.
That's fair. That's fair.
Literally touched by the gods to do good. I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna go to town and sit at the tavern for a while.
You know what? Yeah. Also, just you, once again, you owe me nothing. Quick question. I am once again, I'm insightful, but I can't read minds. What the fuck is what's happening with the you and Lark thing? Because I think one thing I see one thing and then I see another thing and now I'm just confused.
Wait, does Lark
that rumor board down? That rumor board needs to go.
does Lark think that I'm
I don't think so. I think Lark has more compassion and is at least smart enough to not just take the rumor board as the truth.
I mean, I'd like to think so. I mean, I think we're getting closer. I mean, she's always seems a little distant, like she's kind of holding back.
That just seems like a lot of her in general, but
like after the party, she got really drunk, and like we hung
I
out
don't
in
remember
my room.
much of that.
We hung out in
Gonna
my
be
room
honest.
for a while, but like even then, like, how do I say this delicately? I don't generally have this much trouble getting someone to kiss me.
Is
That would be my answer
frustrating
to
you?
what's up with Lark.
Is that frustrating you?
Yes, it's been 6 weeks. I'm in pain.
Moss just looks at him like incredulously, like, and then had internal thought is like, oh God, some people. Just
Guy.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely need a drink. Definitely need a drink. I am skipping study period to get a drink.
Study period, there's different methods of studying. So, that's fair. I would argue that you can be persuasive enough to make that argument.
Yeah, it's been nice talking to you.
No, you don't have to sugarcoat it. Like, yeah,
It's
no,
been
I
a
don't.
fucking
Yeah.
nightmare talking to you.
Yeah.
It-
Sorry, but also I don't necessarily regret giving you a heads up of what's happening. I'm sorry that it's stressing you so. Yeah, there we go. That seems about.
Yep. Great. Talk to you after exams and when I re-sober myself. And he
Yeah, good luck.
heads off.
I thoroughly enjoyed every second of that conversation. I feel so bad for Enris.
Moss,
I feel so bad for Moss. Like, what?
what is
Because
sugarcoating going
everyone
to
thinks you're
accomplish in
fucking
this
a teacher.
situation?
I mean, he's
You're
a third year.
fucking
He didn't know.
Yeah, they definitely think you're fucking your sister.
They definitely
Wow.
like. I wasn't gonna just leave him in the dust. Like, Moss wasn't gonna just like you have what everyone else is doing and whisper about it. Like, what the fuck is that gonna do?
It's funny because somebody mentioned in chat like this is the what was it like this is the face of like oh yeah she broke Enris when the players asked for lore you plan to get into much later. I planned for that lore to come out really quickly because I expected you guys to like be like he's sleeping with the professor, what's going on? But you were all like let's respect his boundaries and let him have his time. And I was like
respectful.
seriously?
Fuck off. We're trying to be respectful.
Respect
good
boundaries,
people.
not be assholes.
Like,
Is a
you're all
good goal to
fucking
have.
You're university students. Nobody respects shit.
I don't care about rumors unless they're about
As someone
me.
in university, that is correct, but sometimes you don't want to have to deal with that otherwise.
I
So
agree.
like,
You were look. The fact of the matter is, when you GM for a group, you never know how good or evil your party is going to be, and how much they're gonna want in. So I expected that to come out in like episode 2, and here we are at like 8.
Oh, the wait was.
although
worth
I
it.
love how it came
was
out. I
worth
feel
it.
like
Yeah,
Enris just got
that
his
was- yeah.
mind blown. He's broken.
Oh, that poor boy. I'm gonna throw him into the tavern after this game. So if anybody watching wants to go talk to Enris, you can go see him having a.
Honestly, I also am waiting for the gossip board to be like, oh my goodness, he had a conversation with Moss and now he's broken. What the fuck did
Yeah,
Moss,
Moss.
do?
Oh my god, is he dating Moss now?
Like, I'm just waiting for the gossip board just go.
I think
A
Moss.
fucking
light
rumor
up.
board. I hate that thing. Hate that thing.
Are you kidding? It's the best.
It's
I
so
hate
fun.
it.
The only
hate
thing
it.
I love more than the gossip board is the listing of different clubs, like the posters people put up. Ugh,
Yeah,
those
the posters are great.
are fabulous. The notice board is fantastic. My favorite one recently was this one it's just there's so many gorgeous ones. Nat did this really beautiful one about recruiting for musicians to play in a band, and it's all in like big pink handwriting with pictures of friends and hearts all over it. Like
So
just
good.
people making posters in character is giving me life.
It's great.
Another excellent one where like one of the bards lost a loot, and someone took a picture of the loot and just like lost a loot, find Clover in giant letters on it.
Beautiful.
It's
great.
Oh man, poor Enris.
I know.
He was, you know what, if you hadn't dropped all of that on him at once, like he was like, maybe this girl is also against the establishment because I'm disestablishment, and then you just broke him instead.
Yeah.
Honestly, Moss is gonna argue her just being blunt with him is part of being anti-establishment, considering the general thing.
Don't worry, he'll come talk to you again about that once he's feeling a little bit more stable. He just needs a few weeks to wash his brain a little bit.
At some point, I will say, at some point there might be like a plate of food just put in front of his door because she's like, oh, he's gonna be so drunk. Here's some food.
I thought we learned that the proper way to do an apology is to slam a sandwich flat and slide it under the door.
But the thing is,
It's a
she's not
sandwich.
apologizing. She's just
It's a
being like,
sandwich.
here, you're gonna be drunk as fuck. You need food. So it's not an apology.
And there's a note,
Take
this
care of
is not an
yourself.
apology sandwich.
This is not an apology.
For those
You gave me something that
who
I
have
could
been
get for
watching
free,
something.
except slid all over the floor.
For those of you who've been watching since we were Darkness and Dragons back in the day, episode 4, I think, of the original series is the Apology Sandwich, which is an excellent comedic episode that still cracks me up to this day.
It's beautiful. If you really want to go back into the
It is.
archives.
Oh, God. Still laugh.
Yeah, if you want to go back into the archives, go to our YouTube.
Oh
God.
boy.
Oh, Arsene. Fuck is this?
Oh.
Ellie's
Our
still on the
Shelly
floor.
hair.
Because she goes back. She goes back to get the sandwich later on. She puts it at the door, but then her and
Yeah.
Verity get shit faced, and then they're hungry. She's like, "I want that sandwich back."
So she sends him, she takes the sandwich, pats it flat, slides under the door for him, and then later drunkenly decides, I want that sandwich back. And he's like, wait, so you made me a sandwich as an apology, and now you want it back because you're drunk? And she's like, absolutely, I do. He hadn't eaten it because she didn't put it on a plate or anything. She just smushed it and like slid it under the door, and he's a prince.
Also, keep
of course
in
he
mind, like this wasn't like a nice sandwich. It was like peanut butter and jelly. Like
Oh,
it was
yeah.
just not even jelly. I think it was just not even peanut butter. I'm pretty sure it was just
It's just jam.
bread
Just-
and jelly.
Just jam.
just like that's
Some
all. It was.
saturated fruit bread.
That's
Phildo
Ellie
Beggins
style.
has an excellent question. Phildo Beggins has been doing our random rolling charts. So if you go to the cafeteria or you go to the coffee shop and you can roll to get a random like a drink at the cafe, and currently is working on a menu for the cafeteria, and the apology sandwich is now going to be an item on the menu. I feel like it should be like if you roll like 100 or something, you know, it's got to be a special number.
If it's in the cafeteria itself, could it be like, is that like a colloquial name for it? Like it's not known as that, but it's like one of the best ones on there. So if someone's ever like pissed
It's
at
secret
you,
menu item.
you give them
Secret menu item.
the apology sandwich.
This
Yeah.
is the one. This
You're
is
gonna
the
need
one.
this. You're gonna need the apology sandwich.
It's just jam though.
It's an uncrustable.
It's really good jam.
Oh, it's like jam from Ellie's pockets. She didn't have jars for them. She just had like pockets.
The
full of-
extra
that's
lint
why she was always
flavoring.
sticky. She was
Um,
always sticky, like a toddler. Like this is why I didn't sit on the same side of the bench as Ellie.
Yeah.
Breakfast,
You're-
lunch, or dinner.
Ellie had a bag of holding that literally just held like frozen biscuits and jelly that she had like spooned in there.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, and the crumpets for the jelly.
I mean, this is what happens when you are like a slave and you just suddenly get access to good food. You're like, hoard
Jam
that
in my
shit.
pockets.
Yep.
Times.
Yeah.
Good.
It's got to be a flatbread sandwich so it slides into the door. I'm sorry.
And in a
you
panini
guys
press,
told me,
so
yeah.
that's extra flat.
Oh, you guys kill me. Oh, could it be a panini? Like a grilled jam sandwich, I feel will be pretty weird, but also
Yeah.
maybe really good. Like unsurprisingly
It is.
good.
No, it is. I
No,
can
it is
actually
good.
attest to that.
It is good.
It is very
Yeah,
good.
I
Ellie
can
would be
attest to
proud.
it.
I can't eat good sandwiches anymore. Gluten-free bread is just
No.
Gluten-free bread is sad.
sand. It's just sand. If you toast it, it's not terrible. But
Gluten-free biscuits are okay. Like if you make sandwiches with gluten-free biscuits, it's okay.
Can you have like butter or butter substitutes?
can I, like me
Yes.
personally?
Yes.
Yeah, butter doesn't have gluten.
So I would recommend if you have that gluten-free bread and it's kind of meh,
Mhm.
toast it a little bit and
Yeah.
then grill it. Just put it right on a pan, butter,
Ooh.
saute it. That's
Ooh.
how I actually have started to eat a lot of my toast, no matter what. Is because like the butter just crisps right into it and it's really nice. And then you can put
You
whatever
got like a
on top
little
of
bit
it.
like a grilled cheese with no cheese.
Oh yeah, it's a grilled
Ooh.
peanut butter and jelly from Carly, who was also throwing this in my brain. My girlfriend. A grilled peanut butter and
Ooh.
banana. Oh my goodness.
Peanut butter and banana with some honey like drizzled in it, like into
Ooh,
the
I-
sandwich.
Have you ever had it with a little bit of yogurt too? Like a little bit of yogurt in
Ooh.
there? Ooh, yeah.
It's like the sweet sour cream.
In a wrap? Put that shit in a wrap? Where I went to university, it was a wrap with peanut butter, jam, strawberry yogurt, and honey. And I think had chia seeds.
Oh,
And it's called the
nice.
Morning Glory. And
That sounds so
oh, and
good.
banana slices. Banana
It
slices.
sounds messy.
It is extremely messy.
You have to eat it with
It's
a fork
so
after you take a
interesting.
bite.
At my university, we have like a waffle machine. So seeing how everyone builds their waffle and like, yeah.
I want waffles.
Oh man. Oh, okay. Good job. Thank you for breaking Enris.
Welcome.
Nobody likes him, and now we know why.
Shame.
I don't dislike him. Like,
Yeah, no, he's just yeah. There is a scene with Enris and Fiona, a character who is server, where Enris talks about how being a divine soul especially is very difficult because this is a school of heroes, and people who are divinely touched by the gods to be good at things generally aren't liked very much because people have to work hard here, and he hasn't really had to work hard. Yeah, so that tends to piss people off.
he has to work hard at other things, not necessarily for his magic class. He still has to grow as a person.
Exactly. See, this is why you need to be friends with him. He needs a good friend who will tell it like it is.
I did that and it broke.
Because no one's done it in years. Do you know the last time someone told him like it is?
Yeah,
Long
this
time
guy
ago.
needs a wake up call.
Let's do another roll for your last elective class, shall we? Let's see how it goes.
So I had it was acrobatics, performance, and perception,
Perception, yes.
which I don't have.
Oh, there's the
anything
not
in.
great roll.
Yeah, I'm gonna also fail at this one, I think too.
It's not bad. Like it's not like a
Also
one.
had performance, stealth,
And
and
persuasion.
persuasion, right?
Oh, never mind. That roll is glorious because I have a +8 to persuasion.
Yeah, right? Like, this is the part where people are like, can I take something outside of my main discipline? And I'm like, of course you can. It'll make it harder. But there's no reason not to.
I have a +0 to this skill.
Oh no.
So
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no.
I rolled an 11.
An 11. And that's
11
total.
is passing.
You don't have a
It's
bonus?
passing.
I have a +0 to to perception.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. You know what? This is a hard class for you.
I'm too
you
short.
you really come to realize that as a short boy
Sunlight sensitivity.
and sunlight sensitivity, it's really putting you at a disadvantage. Like it's rough. Like and your teacher
This
seems
class was not just made for you.
Do you want me
yeah,
to roll
like the teacher
with
seems to
disadvantage?
acknowledge this is hard. This is hard work. Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do? Like you said, you have light sensitivity and you're short. It's gonna be hard to see everything.
Is
before everyone
perception
else.
a written test?
No, it's actually like one of those like you know in movies and stuff when they have the person do the shooting range and it pops up with stuff
Oh,
like that.
Also, if Moss hears about this, she's gonna like make an HR complaint because Charr deserves more accommodation and fair testing and grading.
no,
than
this is
that.
okay. This is okay. This is where we're getting real world examples, and
Real world example also has Underdark and other experiences to have perception testing in.
That's true. That's
Mhm.
true.
Mhm.
Is that might be a
Love
later.
it. I love this whole side arc where you guys are gonna go and be like, we're going to accommodations. I love it. Let's do
We're
it.
talking
Let's-
about we're talking about
Moss is like, fuck you.
we're talking about explorer equity, okay?
Explorer equity. There you go. Not every team, but you know what? Here's the thing: is that a lot of these things, like this, is to let you know where you're going.
Yeah.
It's really, really hard to flunk out of this school because it's mandatory. You know what I mean? Like the worst they can do is sort of like keep you there. But in this case, it's more to like know what your strengths are, right? And know what to do. And you know now very clearly that a lot of this land-based, kind of basic perception isn't great. But maybe there's a later semester of it that includes more like, Underdark and other things where you'll kick ass.
Mhm.
So yeah. So Lark, we're rolling for our last elective, so if you can roll us for a survival. But Moss, what'd you get in per?
Okay. I rolled a flat 8, but I have a +8, so it's a 16.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Not
That was for
bad.
persuasion. That was for persuasion.
Yeah, honestly, more than anything, persuasion class has been difficult for you because people keep. It's almost like a debate class, and some of the things you have to argue are just like you can't even just make yourself do it. Like,
No.
it's
No.
just like, no, I'm not doing that. That is terrible. Why are we talking about this topic? I shouldn't have to convince someone of this. And it's just led to some tension. So you've done well in the projects that you've done, but there's been a couple where you're just like, nope, not doing it.
Yeah, that's fair. Moss would totally just not do it.
It's not a big deal. Basically on those days, like, what the topic's going to be because you're expected to study beforehand, so you can kind of do your debate. So if you
Also, let's keep in mind, I don't even think Moss has really studied for the debate she's done.
yes, but they tell you it ahead of time so you can if you want. But as a result of that, it means that you're very easily able to skip the classes that you don't want. So like everybody across campus, if you skip a class, you lose 1 gold out of your 10 gold for the week.
That's fine.
It's
I'm
not
not
a
going to be
cost.
bribed into arguing something I believe is morally incorrect. So
There you go. So
Moss is fine with this.
Usually you end up on a side you're happy with and you're okay to argue with, but occasionally you've skipped a couple, so you've got a couple zeros bringing you down. Still, fine grade. How's Lark doing?
21.
21 on survival. Lark. Survival is not a fun class. survival has been terrible, to be completely honest. You do things like there was one class where you just spent an hour and a half holding your breath as long as you could and then coming up for air. And the teacher timed you and like held you down for a second longer, like every time. It was terrifying, absolutely terrifying. There's stuff like that, like things where it's about like you have to address that like fear response to some of these situations. Your teacher has been very, very focused on saying that like that fear response is what gets people killed. And you're fucking nailing it. Like I think a lot of people in that class are struggling because they've never experienced that kind of trauma. And Lark is like being held underwater.
Easy.
You're also a cleric, so you know you can heal up this stuff a lot easier than some of your other colleagues can. You're the only cleric in this entire survival class, so it's clearly not super common.
Yeah.
If you survive enough to not get stupidly injured, it saves up your spell slots. I'm just saying.
So yeah, well done. Okay, Charr is gone, so we can't do Charr's scene quite yet. So basically,
like vignette to Enris. Just broke.
Enris just sitting in the bar. Another. So every time he thinks about his sister, he just loses it.
Yep.
Yeah, like one scene points it out, if you have seen her before, you do kind of see the resemblance. Like she's definitely not as into fashion as he is. Mm-hmm. But she has Ian original long hair that she keeps in a braid, kind of pulled back, and she's very sweet. She's always eager to talk to people, even who aren't her students, and offer support. So she's very nice. But now that you know, you kind of see the resemblance, you know? Yeah, I mean, they're both elves, so, I mean, there's always a little bit of resemblance between elves. Okay, well done. Next up, we're gonna have Charr, our happy little boy Charr, our good friend. And of course, I'll do a little plug for the server. If you're not on our server, come visit us, come hang out. If someone can throw that into the chat, through the link in, you can come join us and you can play in our world, and you can come hang out with Enris as he laments in a bar for the next few days.
he's gonna be renting a room.
He's like, I'm just gonna stay here. I'm not done drinking.
He has tiny hut. He'll be fine.
He does have a tiny hut. He does.
True.
He's probably gonna buy some alcohol and bring it back to campus. You just hear him late at night singing off key in his room.
Yeah.
It's just
a
so
real
drunk.
pop punk boy.
He'll be fine. He'll be fine in the end. Okay, so Charr, you've been running Dragon Club for a couple weeks now. Mm-hmm. Doing some research about dragons. You thought you saw a dragon out by the lake. So exciting. And Soslan has come up to you. This is after the study period. And he suggests that you go and plan out basically the next outing for Dragon Club. You guys know that there is an eclipse coming up next week. And he thinks that maybe if an eclipse is so rare and dragons are rare, that's literally all of his logic. He's like, so if the moon is away, maybe they can see the dragons better.
I don't want to turn your idea down because it's a great idea and I appreciate the logic of it and I think it's correct.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to talk about how lunar cycles work, but that's totally fine.
But it's like a super new moon, right?
Yes.
Like a really strong one.
So Soslan, you've do that again. Have you done your fighter midterm yet?
Some of it.
Some? How is it? Is it like a multiple midterm?
Yeah, for fighters, we have to show our skills with every weapon that we've learned.
Well,
And
we'll train before your next time.
I'm
Train with me.
only good at with a few of them though.
Which well, we'll train. Do you want to go to? Do you want to walk over to the lake and we'll keep this conversation going and we'll train. Grab the weapons that you're not feeling good with and we'll work on that. Okay.
Okay, they're big ones though.
That sounds fun.
Okay.
What's he end up grabbing when we go out to the lake?
Yeah, actually. So let's say you guys head out to the yard where you usually borrow some training weapons. The fighters spend a lot of time out in the sparring yard. What would you guys actually? There's an answer to this. What are the heaviest weapons that like simple weapons in D&D?
The heaviest simple weapons?
Or martial, I guess.
My guess is most forms of great sword, great axe.
Yeah, right.
Most of the two-handed weapons can be pretty heavy.
Oh, two-handed.
Morning
weapons.
stars are pretty.
Oh, yeah, they're.
So the weapons you guys pick are a lot of weapons that are two-handed. He seems to be, when he explains to you kind of what he's doing, okay, he seems okay with thrown weapons. That seems to be what he's doing the best at. And he's not terrible with improvised weapons either, but when it comes to the ones that actually do a lot of damage, he's not doing great. So yeah, great club is up there. Glaive,
Ooh.
great axe, maul. The pike, he can't even.
That's too.
He's useless with a pike. Oh wow, a heavy crossbow is 18 pounds too.
Yeah, it's fucked.
Shit. I mean, I guess it is a heavy crossbow.
Mm-hmm.
Geez, and the hand crossbow costs more, I guess, because it's smaller and lighter.
Yeah.
Huh. So I've never really cared about the weights because it never really mattered. But he's like a sweet little.
Encumbrance is a huge thing. I'm surprised it's such a little thing in like the later editions of D&D because it's really is a big thing.
So he's done best so far. He's doing the best with nets, whips, slings, and what's the other thrown one?
Hand
darts.
axes? Darts. Ooh.
Darts.
Oh, darts.
If he gets to pick, he's pretty confident in his skill with the darts. That's kind of his big thing. But there's a lot of weapons to learn.
Yeah.
And as you remember, he was struggling with even remembering their names. So
Yeah.
remembering the proper forms. Basically what they have them do is each weapon has a basic form that they're expected to do. So like, upper block,
Mhm.
like descendant cut. And then and he's having a hard time remembering every single one, which makes sense because it's that many weapons.
Yeah.
So anyways, that's what Soslan's struggling with. So do you guys grab a couple of the heavy ones?
I'm gonna recommend he grabs the two that he thinks he'll do the worst with, and let me pick one that I think he could excel with.
Okay.
I'm gonna see if there's any rapiers around because hey, light weapon, dex, and you got that finesse. It's I think gonna be the prime thing for him. I think you might do better with this. And I hand him like the practice rapier, like the fencing saber that's probably there. I think you'll excel with this. It's so light. You can, well, I mean, this one's not sharp. There's no actual blade. You can kind of hold it from the center here, and it's like from the length. You can kind of just move it around. And I hand it to him. Try this, and I think you're gonna really enjoy it. I don't know if you've tried it before.
Sorry, you handed him
A rapier.
A rapier.
Yep.
Let's see if it's on this list technically. It is. It's a finesse weapon. So finesse. What does finesse mean in D&D?
You can use dex instead of strength.
Oh yes, that's right. So actually, yeah, he would be much better with finesse-based weapons. He actually doesn't have a great strength.
Oh, he doesn't need to, and that's.
So some of the finesse weapons are other ones he's pretty good at. He's good with anything that's more dexterity based than strength based. He'll pick to bring with him today. He's gonna bring something he thinks he can actually do. He's gonna bring a maul
Ooh.
and a lance.
Oh, a lance is gonna be goofy.
Lance is hard for him because the lance is like 3 or 4 times his height.
Yeah, I choose not to wield it myself.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, anyways, he's been struggling because a lot of people in his class are very strength based, and he is not. He's little boy. He is bebe.
This is gonna be good practice for the real world. I think you've probably heard that already, but remember, we're trying to focus on making you the best you, and we kobolds aren't known for being world-class bodybuilders, strength.
And I flex, and I'm not trying to be like.
Oh,
flexy,
roll for
but
flex. Roll for flex.
I have
roll
a good
for
strength.
flex.
Am I just rolling strength or rolling athletics?
Yeah. Just give us a strength check to see how well you convince him that you're like kobolds aren't that strong, and then you flex and roll a 20, and he's like,
I don't roll the Dark Moon dice die, and I get a 1 on the d20.
You rolled a 1.
It's a 5 total technically.
Okay. You know what? This is an example that supports. You were saying we're not all
Yes.
strong, and you show off, and you're like, "Ee."
I was like trying not to show off, but then I was like trying to flex, and it hurts.
Oh. Maybe
All
you
the
got
exams are
injury in
really
class.
kicking your butt.
My arms are still sore from slapping away and flip-flapping my feet away.
Where-
Poor Charry's been like at all angles here, like kicking. I imagine like a kangaroo.
I've
when
been
you're-
gassed on the tail.
but
What weapon does Charr use?
I'm using my longsword or using a longsword and shield, because that's been
Ooh.
how I generally have been training.
Okay.
In
in combat, your strengths are your size. You can get under anyone's legs and get behind them in a heartbeat. You are quick, you're nimble. You need something that you can drive in there with.
Mhm.
And that's what that rapier will be doing for you.
I'm really good at that. People don't like it though.
Who doesn't?
They don't like it when I cut their inner thighs. But
Take that as a compliment.
They go down.
Are you actually
They go
cutting their
They go
thighs?
down.
Oh, are you? Okay. Hold on. Do we have to have a talk about genitalia and not to hit the genitalia of people? Because that's kind of a no-go.
There's genitalia on the thighs?
Well, if you're hitting their thighs in that area, it can be very sensitive for some people. Just don't.
Oh.
I mean, if it's a bad guy, go for it. Sure.
No, nobody's ever cut me there. I didn't.
We have an advantage. We're sure.
Soslan's never been kicked in the balls before.
we kobold
No
are
idea.
are at a genetic disposition of benefit here. Just try not to go for the legs too much. Try to go for
What about the hamstrings?
well, in practice, you're not going to be cutting, so hopefully it shouldn't hurt. But you can go for the ankles. You can go for the ankles. You can go for the like the ribs, because that's going to hurt a lot. This here, the rapier. I hand it back to him. This can get in between armor. It can go through armor. You can pierce right into a chest.
Yeah.
I don't think you need to be holding a sword that's 4 times your weight just to drop it, because that's not technique, that's gravity. Which is in some forms a technique, but we'll play to your strengths. I don't want to teach your class for you, because I'm not teaching a fighter's class. I don't know how that generally works, so I hope I don't get you in trouble.
Fighter teacher's really good though.
I think we should...
He's short too.
Who's the fighting teacher?
What a great question. I'm just pulling him up. The fighter professor is a man called Vinicus Gladshill. He's a human man, and he's actually in a wheelchair.
Ooh. And
Yeah.
he's a proficient fighter in a wheelchair?
Oh yeah.
Beautiful. I would love that. Goodness.
So
that
yeah,
rep.
needless to say, Soslan's been struggling with like, but if it's a matter of height, he's like not that much taller than me, and he still kicks our ass every day.
He
I
kicks
also just
every-
realized that for midterms they're going to use lethal weapons, and the cleric class is probably just going to stand there and heal them.
The cleric midterm is just healing.
Is just healing the healing the fighter class as they
That's so
train.
funny. That's so funny.
Beautiful.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, teamwork.
Soslan, for this training, for you using the weapons you want to use your size at your advantage. Like that lance there, if you need to poke it into the ground so you can kick yourself up into the air and physically hit somebody, or use it so you can flip down and swing at somebody, use it like a club. Incredible choice.
The professor said we have to understand the strength of each weapon, and then we can specialize.
Have you been looking up how kobolds would use these weapons, or are you going off of human standards?
There aren't any books about kobolds fighters in the library. Give it an insight roll.
I'm gonna gladly give an insight roll. That's something I have the ability for.
Ooh.
Oh, that is insane. Okay, thank God. 18 plus 2. I got 20 on that.
He rolled a 3. You sort of picked this up from him before, and you've done some looking in the library, and you know that there are books.
I think I might have brought in some text
Yeah,
too.
like you know that there are books about kobold fighters, and I think with that insight, you sort of figure out one of the reasons he's been really struggling is that he doesn't know how to read very well.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I mean, he grew up in a small village,
Yeah.
and you know he was working as a farmhand. Like he's
Never was
struggling,
me.
and a lot of these books are really, really technical. And he's clearly a little ashamed of it. So he's definitely playing it up like there's nothing there and he's not right. He's not wrong. There is nothing there he can use because he can't read it. It's
Mhm.
not in a way that he can read it. But yeah, so maybe mini quest for Charr is to find or get the library to carry some books that are more visual aids.
I think I'm gonna talk to the other people who are in Dragon Club who, know Soslan and see if anyone want to help tutor him with just reading comprehension. Because I don't feel confident doing so. I'm not English. I'm not a language personnel. I kind of am. God, I'm gonna do that.
This might be a great thing for that notice board to put a thing up, like looking for. I mean, you have to play it very delicately because you don't want him to feel ashamed.
Connoisseurs of
there are
language.
definitely some people here who are linguists who would maybe be happy and eager to help.
Maybe some wizards that could use a cool little dragon party member in the future.
There you go.
Help him build his party. I'll draft something up for after this for a board.
Aw.
In the process, does he start with anything in particular? Does he start with the maul, the lance, the rapier?
He's gonna start with the rapier because he's most confident with that. And he goes through the routine, but you can see he's mouthing each of the words of the pattern to himself as he does. So like, you can tell he's telling himself, like he's very much transcribing what his movement is going to be.
Yeah.
So in a fight, this would be useless.
Yeah.
But for doing a routine, it's probably not the end of the world. Let's see how he does with the other two though.
Fingers crossed.
See how he does. Oh, he does so well.
Yeah.
He does so well with your support. You help him feel like he can like you can tell like there's a little bit too of self-consciousness because he's around all these other fighters who are big and strong and know all these things about these weapons, and being around you seems to give him a lot of faith. You believe in him, and that makes him able to believe in himself a little bit more.
You do got this. It's always gonna be leverage, because it's this long sword that I have to keep it balanced on my shoulder if I'm not gonna. It's like if you see one of those tall people where holding the great swords next to us, they're wielding two of us on a stick practically. I have to do that with a smaller weapon. I have to.
I don't even know how you carry that thing around. It's so big.
I have to use the biggest thing that I can carry, and there's bigger weapons that I can't. You just get used to it.
I don't think I'll ever be good with reach weapons.
Reach weapons are tough, and I don't think you need to be good at them though. You know what your reach is?
I can be a good fighter without it.
You know how you reach things that are far away?
You cut the tendons.
Not the answer I was looking for, but yes.
Oh.
I've
That's
seen
100% something his professor told him.
Yes,
Like,
absolutely.
if the person is too high, you can't reach them. Cut them until they're down the right height.
Give them a new perspective.
Yeah.
You reach things with those darts, with that sling. If you can't reach them with your weapon, you have another way to reach them, correct?
Yeah.
Don't worry about the things that you can't do, because there's other things you can excel at. Like, I can't use that lance there. That's not what I'm good at. I can't use that myself. If you want to compare how you are with those who are, able-bodied to use them and have that disposition to, go ahead. It's not going to do any well when you got this sweet, slender and quick and he starts like flailing around a sword just like jokingly.
As you do, you see his facial expression shift, and you're not sure what's going on, and then you see his bottom lip quiver, and he's crying. His big, sweet kobold tears, and his bottom lip quivers. He says, "Charr, you're my best friend," and he gives you a big hug.
I take the hug. I lift him up so far off the ground, a very solid 3 inches off the ground, and put him back down. And I pat him on the back.
Let's put that emotion and try to focus through it, because that's a hard thing to do when you're scared, when you're overwhelmed with joy. Having to focus through it will save you in battle. Let's take this moment to do so.
And I'm gonna start doing like sparring with. He has the rapier, and while I have the shield out, so he can kind of try to poke through it. And I did want to talk to him about some dragon stuff too.
Yeah. Go for it.
Once he's kind of regained a little bit of that composure, in the middle of that sparring.
So, you were bringing up a good point with the moon. I don't know how dragons react to these type of things. Have you heard anything else? Any other places to check? Because I know there's a few things I want to do once we're out of school or have a vacation of any sort. And I know I want to go on some sort of quest. There's a mountain nearby that is rumored to, be the precipice where all dragons go for. Oh, it's just a rumor. But have you heard anything about?
Rumors are based in truth.
Well, I wouldn't say all of them.
Some though.
I wanted to look at the camera. Are they?
For those of you who are curious about this, we're actually going to be having a mid-year break, which is 3 weeks for our characters. 3 weeks for us, 6 weeks for our characters. So plenty of time to go on a nice long quest. And the mid-year break starts for us on what will be June 16th. So just over a month from now, we'll be shifting into this fun mini adventure plotline where people can kind of find members of a party that let's spend more time with and do scenes with them. So should be rather fun.
Cool.
So you guys got about in character, you've got 2.5 months before the break comes.
With this, does that mean that there'll be like small quests posted by the school and others who like are contracted by the school or are allowed to post them and all that?
Yeah, and also students are allowed to just come up with ideas on their own. So if Dragon Club decides to go off, you probably want to find a TA or something who's willing to go with you to, help.
Enris. Oh, it is.
There you go.
Yeah.
Who could Enris to come along? I mean, he needs to get away.
This is not a drinking trip, but that's fine.
He's like, this is it. No, he'll be fine by then. Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
So you were asking though about has he heard anything about the moon that he's basing this on? He says, I heard of a librarian talking about the moon and how creatures that are rare come out in the moonlight, and dragons are rare.
They are rare.
But there's also maybe a werewolf again, and that's scary.
Has there been anything that the school's been like put on notice about or publicly has talked about with this lunar eclipse happening about werewolves and all that?
What a great question. There has not been an official statement yet, but you know that they are still looking. Some of the TAs have been asking questions, going around to people's rooms, interrogating them. You know that a few students got in trouble for trying to sneak into a section about curses in the library. So it's clear that they haven't figured it out yet.
Love that. Love that.
The school's like, they're on it, but they're on it the way a school is on it. Like everyone's just like, that's schools for you. There's something out there that kills our students, but midterms are coming up, so
the balancing act. Goodness.
Put it off a bit.
Fair. I think at this point I would probably just start asking around after doing our spar with Soslan, seeing if there is any. I'm gonna actually go to the library about that. I'm gonna just see about draconic rituals around lunar eclipses, full moons, and all that.
All right, yeah. Give me the week. I'll make a note. So you want draconic rituals?
Either in dragons themselves or in those with draconic lineage. Like I know that that's Enris he's a draconic sorcerer, correct?
No, he's a divine soul.
Divine soul, that's right.
But we do have some draconic sorcerers. One of my characters, Zara, is a draconic sorcerer, and we also have some dragonborn characters who would also have dragon blood. So we can actually
is Zara in Dragon Club?
Zara is in Dragon Club.
Oh fuck yeah, okay, cool.
There's also Corbin, who is half dragon.
Yep, he's our vampire.
Corbin is also a vampire, so we'll see how that works out.
In the moon too. Wow, what a painful not painful, like in a good way, like character wise. That's like a kind of have to do a lot of internal struggle with that kind of.
You know what? It's just Corbin and Zara so far who have dragon blood.
All right.
There you go. There you go. So you know them both. They are both in Dragon Club. They actually went off after last Dragon Club, and were chatting together in one of the classrooms after. So they clearly know each other. They're nice. So yeah, we'll have to get them to help you out with potentially what comes ahead. I am excited. Now I get to decide on draconic rituals.
Cool.
Okay, so we can call it there. I know in the chat there's a few characters that were mentioned. So if Soslan and is going to try to do some language classes, Zara and Rin are both people who are into languages and would be good helps. And another character who is learning how to taking literacy classes is Clarity. So Clarity might be a good person to reach out to as someone who they could take classes together and be buddies.
Cool. I love a school where everyone actually wants to help each other. I love that.
Clarity is a paladin warlock who is described as muscular, thick with 2 C's, golden, fluffy, curly hair and fur, very lion-like with Clydesdale-like feet.
That's fucking badass. Okay.
Right? That's Clarity for you.
All right, Clarity.
Clarity. we're coming for you.
This is not a violent knuckle cracking. I can't even crack them right now, which is because it's not violent. But
oh, and that's a good point. And Ron as well is also learning common, common written, because he doesn't know Ron is also is a goblin.
Yep.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yes, Ron is.
Another example of a goblin druid monk hybrid. So another person who's struggling with language at the school.
I have so many different languages because my background of courtier technically makes me learn them. So I already know Common, Draconic, Elven, and Primordial as a fun one.
Mm-hmm.
That's flavor.
Yeah.
I know that when Drew was here, Nori had all the same languages, which was hilarious.
Primordial's a good one to get. Primordial is actually 4 languages.
Is it really?
One. So Primordial is the mother, like the main tongue, and then
Right.
there's Aquan, Terran, one for each element.
Okay, so it's like you can pick
so
up
once
pieces
when you know Primordial, you know enough to speak any of those 4 languages.
That makes sense.
So very handy. It's like knowing French and Canadian French, and
Fair enough. I actually found out that Canadian French is such a different language, or
Yep.
French like continental.
It's very different.
Like the actual French in French has evolved past what it originally was, or something like that. So French Canadian is claimed to be the most pure French, and I heard from those who have experienced Montreal in its full power.
Those who have experienced Montreal
in its full power.
As a Canadian, I know immediately what you mean.
Yeah.
When you say people who've experienced
Like
Montreal.
didn't Quebec and like Montreal and like the legislation was trying to be pushed to like claim that French is actual French, or that something like that. I don't know. I've heard
It wouldn't surprise me.
rumors of Montreal.
Quebec doesn't like the rest of us. They don't like Canada. They don't want to be here. So we try to leave them alone to do their own thing. We do put French on everything we have, though.
It was culture shock driving through Quebec and seeing everything in like Nord, soot, and all. It was very funny to me, being like, huh. That's...
As an American driving through, be like, why is there 2 languages on literally everything?
No, it wasn't 2. It was mostly just French.
Oh, right, when you were going through Quebec. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, we have to put it on the English stuff. They don't have to put English on the French stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways, enough about French. Good job. So you got a plan. You guys talk about dragons and about ideas you have. You're gonna look up some draconic rituals in the library and help Soslan a little bit with his language skills, so he feels a little more confident. So well done. He called you his best friend. Congratulations. You if this was a Persona game, you would have hit rank 10. Nah, not rank 10 yet. Say rank 1.
So
We're getting there.
Soslan was he considered to be, because there's like the different scales in the rankings, like president would be gold scale or something like that. Was he put
he's
into
your second. He's your second in command, so he's your
so-
silver scale.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I wanted to make double sure I had that right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Very cute, buddy. Okay. So we've got about 15 minutes left, and I think it would be fantastic to have you guys just hang out around dinner time today and just kind of chill. I'm going to say that one of your random student buddies is there as well, and I'm going to let you guys pick. Is the person hanging out with you guys at dinner today West, Vera, or Anya?
I kind of want to see West interact at a table where where Moss is there after anything happening today.
Okay. How did West do on her stealth final?
What a great question. Let's find. Actually, you know what? You all need to roll. Thank you for reminding me. You all need to roll for your main discipline.
Ooh.
Well, I have 2.
That's true. That's true. I actually realized we need to go back to yours, because now that we redid the rules, you get 2 electives because you have to replace one of them. Yep.
Oh God, what am I replacing? Why are you making me make this decision live?
You don't have to. You don't have to. Pick one of them to roll for, and you can do the other later.
Okay.
Okay, so Charr is gonna roll for Paladin. Paladin is your pal. We've got Lark rolling for now your cleric. And Moss, pick whichever one you want to roll for now. You can roll the other one later. And how have you guys all been going to class regularly? Like, have you been paying attention, working hard?
Yeah.
Moss is like,
Like, let's say like a good. She skips a quarter of each of the classes because at one point there's only so much to do on campus that you kind of have to go to class.
Yep. No, I like that.
Like.
Is it
So,
like you go in late?
She skipped.
So you're all gonna
or comes in late.
20.
Or you know what? She comes in late so often that it's about the equivalent of missing a quarter of classes.
Leaves early
okay,
once.
so you're all gonna roll a d20. Luna, you're gonna roll with a d4 as well, and Charr and Lark are gonna roll with a d8 as well. Or sorry, yes, d8. Yes.
Okay.
Little bonus.
Oh well, I got a 4 on that D4.
Ooh, all right. Oh no, 4 on the d4. Okay. I was like,
D4.
oh, you're not gonna do well this semester.
On the D4, like, come on.
Oh,
Okay,
no.
I'm fine with that.
So what does Moss have with a d20 and a d4?
Well, I rolled a 16 on the D20, so plus 4 is a dirty 20.
Okay, and which class are you rolling for?
I'm rolling for Rogue right now. So it would be
Lovely. So Rogue, you got a 20. Beautiful. What about Charr?
I got a 13 on the D20 and a 6 on the 8, so I got a 19.
Oh, tasty. And Lark?
24.
24.
Sleepless nights. They actually
Straight up.
paid dividends there.
So congratulations, you guys are all doing really, really well in your classes. Sort of the average for first semester in your classes is somewhere between a 12 and a 15. So you're all definitely on the higher end of your classes. So well done. I will get this for you next week, but based on your roles, you'll also be getting a few little specific bonuses that you can use. So they will be very, very specific, something like how Charr can remember the name of every dragon he's ever read the name of immediately. So you're going to get nice little, very niche things that you will be excellent at. So if there's a specific part of the classes that you have been paying more attention to, or like I know for cleric, we did talk about one of the tests or one of the exams that the class was taking was around learning about someone who'd passed on and the ghosts. So if there's something specific, feel free to message me and let me know what you're leaning towards, and I'll make something specific based on that. And if you want me to just go wild, I'll just go wild. But we'll start off next session with you guys getting some nice little bonuses for your midterms. Well done.
Yay,
You all passed your midterms.
We did it.
How did West do?
So the only one of you who's kind of not doing average is Charr in perception class is a little bit below average.
Yep,
But we know that it's a hard struggle for a short, blinded in the sunlight person.
Hey, the next module in this class, I got that down pat.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
like when they do the Underdark module, you're gonna be like, swoosh.
Ain't nothing I can't do.
All right, awesome. So you guys head to the cafeteria. What are you guys grabbing? There's like kind of it's kind of like one of the like a buffet a little bit. So you can kind of like assemble your own sandwich, you can assemble your own salad. There's usually a couple warm dishes that you can kind of pick from. So what are you guys having for dinner tonight?
Club salad. I don't know. It's all I eat anymore.
Damn it.
That's all Lark eats.
Fira sees you
No.
from another table.
Your digestive tract is doing amazing.
They're like really healthy.
Oh my god, so regular.
Really healthy.
I think it's
healthy.
become possibly like ritual that like if even no matter what you get, I think if there's potatoes, I think Charr gets you like at least like a small dish of potatoes to go along
Ooh,
with
scalloped
whatever.
potatoes. Lark would die if she ever
Yeah.
tries scalloped potatoes.
Ooh, that actually sounds really good
Heaven.
right now. That sounds
Heaven.
good right now.
These magical potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
I think I probably.
Oh, that's right. Next time we do this, we'll be able to roll the table actually, because that table for cafeteria food is being made. So 98 is Tarrasque T-bone steak.
Don't ask how they got it, and don't ask how many casualties happened.
You don't want to know.
Mhm.
But for now, make sure Cobb salad's on that list too, Flobo Baggins.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah,
skip
if it's not, I
you
will
can't skip
move
the Cobb
schools.
salad.
I think I get a nice leg of owl bear, like haunch, back leg.
Oh my god, isn't your teacher an owl bear?
No, he's a bugbear.
Okay, good. You're right, he is. I was just like,
A sentient
There's such a
owl
cross
bear as a
music, are
teacher
you
sounds
kidding me?
badass. But no, thank you.
you're good, you're good.
This is more frequently stewed than not, so I don't know if I'm actually gonna. It was good.
Great. On the upset end of second, Moss's main plate is just a giant fruit salad. Like that's her meal.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
You're having a fruit salad. Do you have anything? Is it sweet? Like, do you have like whipped cream or something with it?
No, it's
or-
just fresh fruit, just letting the fruit do its thing and shine.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, you guys sit down, and we're gonna say that West sits down beside you. We were gonna ask how West was doing in her class. So let's find out how well West did in Rogue class this year. Ooh. She's tied with you exactly.
And I haven't been going to class.
Yeah. So she's a little moody. She's a little moody.
Has West also been going to class? I think
West does go to
I was
class.
gonna say West probably
West
would
goes to
be.
class every day and is always paying very careful attention to what the teacher wants and showing off what the teacher has taught her. And then fucking Moss shows up guessing the way through like a jerk.
It's not guessing, it's instinct and common
So
sense.
when she sits down, she's like, how did we get the same grade? Like immediately, like sits down, immediately looking at you.
I don't know. I'm not the one who graded myself.
How did you do so well?
I did the things
Do you
that we
leave?
were supposed to do for the test. No, like, literally, I just did the test. I just took
You're
the test
right.
like you did.
Like every day.
Yeah.
The first day of class, you showed up in the middle of the exercise. You didn't even know what it was.
Mel, can I roll sleight of hand really quick to see if West has a bag that's open right now and if I can pull out notes?
You want to like steal her notes?
I want to see if it's like easy for me, like,
Well, your bag's open.
Let's see if the bag's open. It is not open. You can still try, but it'll be harder.
I'm gonna try.
Gonna try to steal
Oh,
notes from Rogue's bag. Dear
I'm gonna-
lord,
I'm
someone's
gonna
a
try it.
death
I'm
wish.
gonna
Rogues
try it.
are not necessarily perceptive all the time. So like
That's true. That's true. That's
you
true.
know.
Get this. It's a 9.
Okay.
I was
Total.
about to say, like, what? We are on it today.
Oh my god, Ian, you succeed.
No perception? No perception at all?
Two.
Too involved with trying to be like, what's going on?
Wait, can I roll to see if I noticed Charr
Oh,
doing this?
it's
Yes.
if I think we're on the other side of the table, so I think you like look.
You just see it. She is too
Oh, yeah,
focused
I
on
see
you.
this.
She's got all of her energy on Moss.
I got another dirty 20 on perception.
I think at this point you see me looking through a notebook that says something like Rogue's Eyes Only or something like that, and I'm just looking through it.
There's all kinds of notes. There's also notes of like notes in character. Like she's like,
Yeah.
Moss was late again today, or
This
like,
is like ranting about Moss section.
or like Professor Rain said this today. Like there's a lot of like, it's almost written in like a diary at points. So you're just like casually thumbing through her diary at the table.
I close it and I slide it onto the table and I say,
Wes, it's very easy to take what you've written for classwork, so maybe I'm not trying to say that Moss has, taken your notes, but if I was able to,
What the stole my
fuck?
notes?
I
And then
did
she checks her bag.
oh, I'm not. No, I'm not
Notes
saying that
are
you
gone.
have. I'm just saying it's easy to, in case you had, if you needed to at all, or anyone needed to.
She immediately
Killing
checks her
me.
bag for her notes.
I'm holding
It's
the
on
notebook.
The table. You put it on the table.
She's like, give that back. And then she grabs it.
Oh, I'm not. No, Mosh, I'm not saying that you would have. I'm just saying it's very easy to do that. Apparently.
You just made it look like I just did it. I didn't.
Oh no, I just had it.
What
'Cause
is
I did
wrong
it.
with you? And then
What?
she like gets up to like storm
Who was
away.
that aimed towards, Moss or Charr?
Probably
Charr.
me.
Okay, just making sure.
She's already edgy at Moss, like she's angry that Moss did well, but now she's mad at Charr for proving that she's not great at everything.
To be honest, like Charr could probably steal something off of Moss. Her perception isn't great either.
So she looks at you guys and she's very upset, and she's just like, oh, how does she say this? I didn't expect you guys to piss her off, so I'm trying to figure out how to do.
I'm
like,
looking at her like, what do you mean?
you stole my journal.
Well, I didn't. I gave it right back. I didn't take
You
it.
were reading it.
Well,
I have very special thoughts in there.
I wasn't trying to, read your thoughts. I just wanted to be like, oh, you're talking about doing so well, and so what?
Forget it. And then she turns around and she sees Ron, who you guys may remember, the goblin who has a crush on her, and she's like, come on, Ron.
Talk to Ron and Sylvan. It's just do it.
I don't care what you think. And she storms off.
It wasn't an I think thing. It was a kind recommendation. But okay. Well,
Kind of like Lark is just like, oh Lord.
You're like sounding like,
That was rude of me.
yeah, that was. And that's saying something that I'm like, oof.
I don't know. She's just trying. I don't know. She was trying to be up all in your face. I was like, well, what's the big deal? I don't know.
Well, like I can understand the frustration that, but
it's the best.
Like
but
that,
also being mad at me isn't gonna solve the issue for her
No.
either. So I was just gonna take it because there's other things for me to focus my energies on. Sometimes you got to pick and choose.
I guess so. Huh. I'll apologize again at some
Yeah,
point.
I will say that
Yeah,
because like
I'll send her a letter.
she's always writing in that thing, and it's kind of like she doesn't have the best poker face, so like you can tell that sometimes like she's being snarky like in her writing, but like I haven't read it because that's whatever, it's her things.
Yeah.
But
Huh. Win some, you lose some. I'm gonna get in
I
a leg of
love
meat.
the shot of Lark on the other side of the table, just like, ooh.
so I'm pretty sure
Apology
she hates me and is
sandwich.
gonna try to get me to fail from now on. I'm pretty sure that's what's gonna happen. So great.
Mm.
Not that I really care about passing. Well, I don't want to get kicked out, but also I don't need A's, so whatever.
I don't think they kick you out. I think they just send you to another school.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Or hold you back. I don't know. Was that something that they do?
They do hold you back. Oh, that's worse. Oh no. Oh no.
Repeat the year. No.
Well,
If you get under 10, you have to repeat the semester.
when in doubt, become a werewolf, I guess.
That's how that's how Nori got out of it.
Yeah.
You know what? That's an honestly viable plan, but I also don't like the idea of me invading another culture just for the convenience of getting out of an exam. That feels a little wrong too. So, as tempting as it is, that has its own issues with it. But
That's a big question. What is werewolf culture? Is there a
Yeah.
class on werewolf culture? Is there
because
books?
there has to be something. I would rather imagine it's not widely spread because
Somebody from the table leans over and they're like, didn't you hear? Somebody tried to find out about werewolves and they got in so much trouble.
What did they do?
They tried to pick the locks in the library, but it was all being watched by a headmaster.
That's the issue. They're
So
just trying.
nobody knows. They didn't
So
get
there's
in.
there's a further restriction on knowledge, which the school supposedly
Well,
is
yeah.
for.
There's all
which is-
kinds
that's
of
a-
restricted rooms.
I know there's restricted rooms, that it just makes me a little pissed that there is a restriction on knowledge in general. But anyway,
with the full moon, no, the lunar eclipse coming up. I can understand why it's kind of under wraps with the whole.
but also
werewolves.
there's other sources of knowledge that aren't the school. Has anyone tried going into town or something? Like there has to be something. Like guys, it's not just all here. Everyone's like, oh no, this school's amazing. There's other things out there in the world, guys. Like
Wait, is it for sure restricted, or is it just locked and you just need to ask for permission to go in rather than breaking it?
that is also an option.
Nobody has actually
Should I
asked
ask
that
Professor
question.
Alara? I could probably ask Professor Alara. He would probably let me.
Yeah,
probably-
they might just be rare texts that they're just trying to keep safe,
Safe,
not
because they're valuable. That's fair too.
so.
It depends. More
I mean, my
investigation.
go-to wouldn't be breaking into something, but you know,
Breaking in is useful. It
But-
doesn't be always your first go-to. Well, depends. Depends on the situation. Says the rogue. Anyway,
Well, I mean, there's always the door that tries to be unlocked by someone that's already unlocked. So maybe that's
yeah,
unlocked. in
honestly,
some
like
way.
guys, just ask a professor. Choose the nicer one. Don't choose the medicine professor. He's not going to be helpful. From what I've heard from Lark.
he's so mean. I don't even think he wants to heal people. I think he'd rather them die.
I
I
think,
was gonna say that.
honestly, okay, this is no.
But
I think
sometimes it seems like that.
it seems like that. I think he's just emotionally distant because he's protecting his own feelings.
Maybe, but
People can get deep into that.
Do you think maybe
Is not how Professor Noah tastes his clerics, though.
do you think that medicine professor is worried that the pupil is gonna kill the sensei? Because I've read books like that, and maybe that's why they're so.
you don't. We're this is medicine. This is a healing class.
The only
don't need to
difference, the
Stab
only
people.
difference between medicine and poison is the dose.
Yeah, and what you mix together, it's the same. Like honestly, if you sit into a poison class, like a lot of the same medicines can be used as poison.
Going to a poison class.
I think that would be a good elective for you to take next semester. Honestly, not because I want you to poison people, just so you're more knowledgeable of what you're combating against. That just seems like being well-rounded at that point.
I wouldn't even. That was never fun.
I don't want anyone to
Wow.
be around poisons if they don't need to be, personally. But
We're always around poisons.
what?
Like literally out in nature. Like I could go outside
Oh,
right
well,
now
yeah.
and choose a place. Like we're always around. Like why are we
Yeah.
stigmatizing poisons right now?
Well,
Yes, they have the opportunity to do something, but doesn't mean that they don't will always do it. Like it's like potential. You're not going to punish a plant for having a potential to do something.
You look over and somebody's like scolding a plant, and it's a druid scolding a plant, and you see it start
it's-
wilting a little bit.
There's honestly, so there's a druid actually who's like across the table who's scolding the plant that they're supposed to be growing for class. They're like, why won't you grow? And someone's like, are you using talk to plants? This is like, I don't care. It knows what I want. Why is midterms tomorrow and it won't bloom?
Here, let me try.
Drew,
You gotta
can I
get me
like
out of here,
reach
man.
over and do druid craft on it? So
That's
I mean,
not
you
the right
can if
plant.
you want
That's
to.
not the right plant. Why is
Can
it
I
blooming
do
into the
that?
wrong plant?
and I do it like very gently. Like, does
Yeah,
that help?
It doesn't seem to do anything.
It doesn't do. Oh shit!
Someone does
Plants
talk to
grow
plants.
Interesting. Interesting. Honestly, I understand the frustration. I don't think yelling at it will help, but I get the frustration. Sorry.
They say if they talk to plants, they listen. Why is yelling different? And then
Because
they take
yelling
it
doesn't make you
right
feel
back to the
good.
room with it.
Would you want to be yelled at?
That's
Everyone's
talking
very
at,
edgy
not
today.
talking to.
That's yelling at. That's not
Yeah.
the same thing.
Anybody else finding the entire cafeteria to be very tense right now?
Yeah.
Is anybody
It's
else
literally
feeling,
midterms. Everyone's
tense?
tense.
Yeah, it's,
because this feels
That's
really.
the purpose.
I mean, I like to enjoy my Cobb salad, but this is really.
you ever eat something that's not a Cobb salad?
You barely touched the potatoes,
I bring those to my room and keep them under my bed.
but do you eat them after?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Because keeping potatoes would be kind of unsanitary after a little
It's my room snacks.
Room snacks is a good idea. And this is really intense, and look over to the survival
wait, have
people,
you
and
s-
everyone's intense.
Have you tried yogurt parfaits yet? I asked
Is
Lark.
that like a
I'm fixing that now.
version of the-
I rush off to make her like a layered yogurt parfait, like with
Beautiful.
fruit and like yogurt and granola.
I feel like
Parfait?
Lark's never eaten a fruit before. I feel
No,
like
I'm
she's
fully like so she's
doesn't have a
looking
lot
at
of
Moss
fruit.
who's eating a fruit salad.
I don't
like, what
think
the
that
fuck?
stuff went that far north.
Yeah, no.
I don't-
So
like,
she's
I don't know.
presenting
You know
you
what I
with
mean?
like a pristine, like layered. Just try it. If you don't like it, that's fine too. Everyone has tastes. Just try it.
All you've
If
had
you want
before
to.
is winterberry, and it's bitter as hell.
Yeah.
Just try it if you want to. If not, I'll eat it. But
I know. I'll try it. I'm sure it's excellent. What's not to like, right?
yeah.
Do you like
Anyway,
it?
I introduced Larks to yogurt
Yeah.
parfaits.
It's like the
basically
fruit
highlights
version of a
this.
Cobb salad. What's
It
not to
kinda is.
like?
Can you?
It is. That's why I did it. That's why
It's the
Moss
sweet
did
Cobb
it.
salad.
Can you roll to see if Vera's here eating another different thing, like a yogurt parfait, but like
If who
different?
is?
Yeah, Vera.
Oh, Vera, what's Vera eating today?
Can I ask Moss to show me how to make another one? But can I get her to show me how to make it so that it looks like, you know, Cobb salads are usually like done in like rows,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So I want it to be like the fruit version, but I want it to look exactly like a Cobb salad but with fruit.
I don't know if Moss is the person to ask to do this, but we can try. We can both
Yeah.
try and roll and see what happens.
So today, Vera is having a bruschetta board. She's like made a bruschetta, and she's like putting it on top of the little things, and like some of them have like brie, some of them have a little bit of pear. She's definitely made this herself. Like she's taken bits of what's available and she's chopped it up and prepared herself
As you should.
this very beautiful. She's got like olive oil, goat cheese.
Do you want me to just message her?
She's taking a little bit from like everything on the table to make it, and she's having it with a glass of ice water with lemon.
Do you want to talk to her? Like I can send a message for you instead of you yelling
do have-
across.
I do have message actually.
Yeah, just message her.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I'll
do
do
that.
that. I'd be like, hi Vera, it's Lark. I'm sitting a couple tables behind you. I don't know if you remember me from being drunk in the forest. I was just wondering what you were having for dinner. Good night.
Good night. Why did I say good night?
So embarrassing. I'm
Um,
never gonna let me in their cool
so-
green girl
so-
group.
messages is done all in the
Because I'm
head,
not
right?
green.
You have to whisper it softly. You can do it
You,
softly.
yeah,
You-
and you need a piece of wire.
And no, you can use a focus.
whisper.
Clerics have
That's
clerical
true, you
focuses.
can. Enris actually in his, he has the gold line in his nail. He actually has a piece of copper on his nail that he
What a
painted on there.
clever, sweet boy.
Yeah, he has regents built into a lot of his stuff.
Someone needs to go hug him.
No one can take it from him.
Okay.
Well, a rogue definitely could with a high enough roll. It would suck.
You get a
And a
you get a
barbarian.
you got a message back from Vera that basically says that she's happy to hang out with you tonight. If you want to come to her room, you guys can have girls' night. She'll bring the snacks if you bring the drinks.
Yes.
She doesn't like drinking alcohol, so that
We
works
do
out.
not. No. That one night was quite enough.
No, I'm saying that she doesn't like it, so that worked out too. So that.
Oh,
that
yeah,
she doesn't
no,
like drinking- that's what I
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll start off the next game, or very early on. Have you have a lovely little time with your bestie, Vera, who somehow manages to be cooler every single time. But the last thing that happens for tonight is that when you all get back to your room, there's a little bowl that sits on all of your desks, and it's where the school basically puts in little notes of information. If you put your allowance in there, so every Wednesday 10 gold or minus how many classes you skipped, appears in that jar. And when you go back to your rooms, you see that there's a little slip of paper in black sitting there. So when you open it up and you unscroll it, it's kind of like a very thin scroll, the way it's bound. So there's a little piece of ribbon around it. And when you open it, in beautiful gold text is written, the equivalent for us, I'm going to use real life time for this, May 25th, you are invited to Iskar Academy's masquerade ball.
You know, Laura and I are like, yeah.
Costumes and masks are encouraged. More information to follow. RSVP, and then there's like a little like mini, like almost like a golf pen, but it's like a quill.
I hate the fact that Moss isn't as excited as me as the player for this.
So congratulations. So that's not next week. We have the eclipse, the lunar eclipse, and then the week after we will do the ball on the stream. And then in the days following that, so starting on the 26th, the server will be enjoying this masquerade ball. I'll give more information about that, but we are actually going to ask you guys to make a new bot using Tupper that actually has a unique name that describes what kind of mask you're wearing and a unique image. So you actually are all going into it unsure of who you're talking to. And then at the end of the night, we'll reveal who everybody is. And it's
no cheating using the question mark icon.
Don't cheat. Come on, it's fun. Have fun. Play the game. So more information will come about how you do that. I know some people have trouble with Tupper. We will walk you through it. But think about, all of you, including obviously the streamers, what kind of costume you want to wear to this masquerade ball. And that's it for our game today. Great job, guys.
Oh, ow!
Oh, wow.
This is not important at all, but I wanted to take the last fruit salad, the one that Moss had helped me make, and go just like put it in Callan's classroom, just on like the closest desk, and then just leave again.
Also, can we please roll to see how beautiful this fruit salad looks?
Yeah, roll for it.
Well, okay, because we made it together. So
yeah,
so
we get advantage to one of us, or should we just roll separately and see
one
who
of
gets
you
the
can
higher?
roll with advantage. And what would be making a beautiful parfait as a roll? Dexterity, maybe? Something dexterity based?
I'll take a dexterity check.
I think dexterity is best.
Probably higher than mine.
Yeah, do you want to give me advantage, or do you want to roll separately to see what happens?
No, go for it. Go for it.
Advantage? Okay.
Yeah.
Just a dex flat checks check? Okay. Oh, that's real good. That's a 21.
21, perfect. And do you leave a note with it?
I'll do message. That's easy enough.
Okay. Dear Cal. Have a good night.
Like, I had fruit. I don't know if you've had fruit, but it was really good. So I made this for you in case you were hungry. I won't stay because then it'll look weird.
I don't know if you've ever had fruit, but it's good. I mean,
that's so like wholesome and sad. Also, I'm really happy we introduced Lark to fruit.
Like, immediately he just looks at it and he just sighs and immediately gets out the paperwork, like, gotta get through this.
Is he like taking spoonfuls as he fills out the paper? Just like,
right? Like, I feel like he's just like, I gotta get this done. Oh my god, she's never had fruit. Cal has a little freak out in his office.
It's like not like Arctic, but it's fucking cold up there. It's too far to go. Most people don't bring fruit up there, and it's like a luxury. It's mostly like just shitty berries. It's probably like expensive, and like it's been, even if it did get there, it's been traveling for so long from where it's probably grown to where that it's not even
good.
They get a banana from the tropical climate to the north this continent on the back of a cart and horse. Like, no, it's all beige foods.
All beige. Like I said, winter berries are great. They make a great poultice for healing. Do not taste good. Never would have guessed fruit tastes good. Never would have guessed.
Is that someone's like cooking utensils assignment? Is like make winter berries taste good? I feel like that's like their final project.
The final project is like It's what everyone needs to figure out. They're just so bitter. They're like cranberries, you know? Like they're unpalatable with
I love cranberries though.
but alone, a cranberry is hard to eat.
I love
Hard
that
to eat,
tartness.
but if you know how to cook them,
But if you
I'm
know how
also
to cook them,
yeah.
Yeah.
I will say, like, my family and TMI, but like not TMI, off topic. My family actually have a cranberry pie recipe, and it's like to die for. I love it so much.
Oh, that
That's
sounds
so
good.
good.
yeah.
Messed up.
Yeah, so anyways, more information will come up with Masquerade Ball. Basically, it's just dressing in formal wear and wearing a mask. Somebody asked about wearing a toga. You can make a toga formal. It's really about how high quality the material is. So
It is.
feel free
And how
to
the drapery
buy-
is done. Please.
Are we supposed like do we have to buy these? Like this
Great
is like,
question. You can make them. You can work with people to have them made, or buy, like, people can make them on your behalf, or you can buy them in town.
sounds expensive.
Expensive.
But
But
You
just
are
saying
getting
that
paid a
sounds-
shit ton.
Lark is a
sounds
seamstress, so
expensive.
Lark could buy some nice fabric and make something nice. You got in character, you've got a month. So
Okay.
lots of time to make something, assuming you don't do it like cosplay and leave it to the last minute. Too close to home. Too close to home.
Brutal.
Yeah. I felt that.
Let's call it there. As I said, we'll be moving on to the server. I'll have Enris in the tavern. I know people are already gossiping about how much they hate Enris there. So when he shows up, that should be fabulous. So take a look at that nightmare. Wait,
Who's
happen. Who?
Who's being mean
Charr.
to my sweet boy?
Random and Locke both hate him, so they're both talking up how much they hate him.
I don't want to.
So enjoy. Come visit. Come talk and defend Enris if you like him.
It's like 2:15 in the morning, so
It's true. You can't be
probably
tomorrow. As always, thank you guys so much for joining us for today's adventure. If you missed part of this episode or you want to share it, you can find it on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. We have a slight delay right now just because of some technical issues with the way that we've been saving the files, but they are here. They exist. We will get them up. You can check out the first 2 episodes at the very least. Of course, if you want to play alongside us, you can check out our roleplay server. And you can hang out with us, so please do so. And of course, our link tree exists and will be on our exit page, so follow us on social media and you can see all of our funny jokes. That's it. That's all for today. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll be here next week at 6:30 EST, and we'll have our new player with us. We'll be able to meet our new friends. So have a great night and take care.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
It's always a pleasure.